This game between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers is sponsored by DraftKings, Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance, Lincoln Motor Company, the official luxury vehicle of the Dallas Cowboys, AT&T, more for your thing, that's our thing, Pepsi, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys and the NFL, and by Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza.
It's a beautiful night for football here in Santa Clara, California. Levi's Stadium, the site of preseason game number 1 as the Dallas Cowboys take on the San Francisco 49ers. And welcome to Dallas Cowboys preseason football. Bill Jones along with Babe Laufenberg. As the Cowboys kick off this preseason, we get our first glimpse of what they're going to look like in 2019. We're even going to see some starters tonight, Babe.
We are. Dak Prescott going to go 8 to 12 plays. In a perfect world, Bill, it's a 10-play, 75-yard drive that ends in a touchdown. Dak goes over and gets a baseball cap on. But the big thing here is you're looking at individual players. You're not looking at the final score. To that end, in 2016, the Cowboys went 1-3 in the preseason, won the division. 2017, they go 3-1, and they don't make the playoffs. Last year, they didn't win a single game. They go 0-4 in the preseason, win the division. So again, it's individual players they're looking at.
We got the kickoff straight ahead for you, but first, this from your local station.
This presentation of Dallas Cowboys football is also brought to you by Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys, and by 7-Eleven, 7-Eleven and Stripes, proud partners of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's time for Dallas Cowboys football. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Lindsay Draper. Lindsay?
Thanks, guys. Yes, I know you mentioned a fourth-round pick who turned into a star in Dak Prescott. I got another one for you. Running back Tony Pollard's been running with the ones all camp long with the absence of Ezekiel Elliott. Guys, he's getting a ton of work tonight because Alfred Morris is sitting out. Here's just how much they like Tony Pollard. Every rookie runs on special teams. It's the way they make the roster. Well, not tonight for Tony Pollard. Jason Garrett loves the way this kid plays, has an edge, and guys, if he gets in space, just get ready because he has electrifying speed.
All right, Lindsay will be down on the sidelines throughout this one. Bill Jones along with Babe Laufenberg, and we are set to go. Mitch Wishnowsky, draft pick of the San Francisco 49ers, as the football teed up. He's their punter, also handles the kickoff duties tonight out of the University of Utah. Darius Jackson is deep for the Cowboys, and Jackson takes it at the 5-yard line, straight up the middle. Has some room out to the 28-yard line, and that's where the Cowboys will take over on offense. Dak Prescott, after making the Pro Bowl for the second time in his 3-year NFL career, enters year number 4. He's your quarterback to start this one. Should be in for one series. The Cowboys resting a couple of starters, including Jason Witten and Amari Cooper. And Zach Martin has been out the last week or so. Randall Cobb, new pickups this offseason. Former Green Bay Packer in the slot to the far side of the field. And 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. And talk about Tony Pollard. He gets the handoff, works the right side for 7 yards on first down.
Well, Bill Jones, I don't see any difference in this offense. Just hand it to the running back.
That's right. Up front, how about Travis Frederick back at center?
Nice.
After Guillain-Barré syndrome shelved him for the entire season last year. Out wide, you got Michael Gallup, Randall Cobb, Tavon Austin starting this one. There's Frederick, number 72, over center, and Tony Pollard is the running back alongside Prescott on 2nd and 3. Throws downfield, complete for a first down. There's a flag down in the backfield. Is out near midfield is Michael Gallup.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 92 defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, first down.
Carl Cheffers, our referee tonight.
Just man coverage here, Bill, with a safety in the middle of the field, and Gallup just works back nicely to Dak Prescott. Nice hands catch there. There you see him strong on the hands. Again, just man-to-man coverage by San Francisco, and Gallup beats it.
So first down at midfield. Play fake, under pressure, throwing deep down the near sideline to Gallup. Good coverage. Ball goes incomplete, and there is a flag.
Should get pass interference. Of course, you can challenge those now this year, new rule. So I've been watching the preseason games, Bill, and a lot of coaches, I think they're doing it just for the mechanics of it, throwing the flag.
Pass interference, number 41, defense, automatic, first down.
So he goes back to Gallup here, and you can see he's just grabbing the shirt the whole way down. A little pushing at the end.
That's Emmanuel Mosley, second-year man out of Tennessee. Kyle Shanahan, the head coach for the 49ers, resting his starters in this preseason game number 1. Backups across the board on offense and defense for San Francisco. A penalty of 26 yards inside the 25-yard line and straight up the middle for 3.
Bill, I know you watched Kyle Shanahan's press conference, the beauty of the web, the World Wide Web, as I like to call it. And they asked him, how many preseason games do you think you need? He said 0.
He says he would rather play 0 preseason games than 4 preseason games. Ideally, he thinks 2 would be best. But that's one of the reasons he's not playing his starters tonight. Dak with a short drop and to the 16-yard line. That's Tavon Austin. He's 2 weeks into camp, having another nice camp for the Cowboys.
Looks like he's going to be just short. Bringing up a 3rd and 1 here.
And there's 72, Travis Frederick. Well, it's so great to see him not only tonight, but throughout the first couple of weeks of training camp, back out there, not missing a beat. It was a year ago this month that he was first diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome. On 3rd and short, up the middle. There's Tony Pollard again. Jason Garrett said on Countdown to Kickoff before the game that Pollard would get some work, and true to his word here on the first drive of this game. He has hit some good moments at training camp in Oxnard.
And Bill, we saw Dak Prescott hand it off to Pollard and then fake like he had the ball. I will guarantee you he is not going to carry the ball on any option in a preseason game.
And Pollard again inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Dak did start the preseason opener last year, which was also played here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, and had 1 drive for a touchdown. It was a 31-yard touchdown pass to the then rookie Michael Gallup.
Yeah, and it looks like they may do the same right here. Matter of fact, I mentioned the Cowboys did not win a preseason game. San Francisco won 1, and that was against Dallas up here.
24-21. Came back late and won that game. Lots of time. The crossing route, the Gallup at about the 5-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 5.
All right. This is where you earn your money here. 3rd down. Both as a play caller and as a quarterback. I always remember John Elway saying, they pay me for 3rd down.
And of course the Cowboys had difficulties in the red zone last year. You got 3 receivers to the left. Tight end Blake Jarwin to the right. Ball tipped up, caught by Dak. At the 7-yard line, he's brought down.
I think he was looking for Blake Jarwin running a little hook route on the right side. As he releases it, ball gets batted back right to him. So Dak Prescott has himself a reception. That's spreading the ball around, Bill.
That is.
You see, he's going for Jarwin here on a little hook route. Dak does a good job of catching it. I know look at the offensive lineman. Just watch the offensive line here, because they're pass blocking. Then all of a sudden, guys running behind them. They're like, what the heck happened?
Sheldon Day bats the ball up in the air, and it's a reception for Dak Prescott to close his first and presumably only drive of the game. Brett Maher on for the field goal attempt, and it is good. And the Cowboys are on the board first with 10.5 minutes to play in the first quarter of preseason game number 1. Cowboys lead at 3-0. Cowboys lead the Niners 3-0 early. Dak Prescott leads the drive, the length of the field for the field goal.
You see Blake Jarwin on the right side running the hook. But watch this, we freeze it. That's Dre Greenlaw right there. He's going to undercut this football. So I'm not so sure that if that ball doesn't get batted down,
it could have been bad news for the Cowboys.
Dak Prescott becomes a defensive back, and he's got to go make a tackle. So that may have been the best of all worlds right there.
Dre Greenlaw has been impressive for San Francisco in camp. He's the rookie out of Arkansas, 5th-round draft pick. Kickoff goes over the head of DJ Reed, and San Francisco starts on offense for the first time. The Ford scoring drive for the Cowboys, 65 yards in 9 plays, capped by the 25-yard field goal by Brett Maher, who was 29 of 36 on field goals a year ago. So from the 25-yard line, San Francisco on offense. As Jimmy Garoppolo not playing in this one, Nick Mullins gets the start. He started the final 8 games of the year last year for San Francisco. Will set the Cowboys on defense. He roll to the near side and complete downfield to Richie James for the first down. And ball is loose and out, and Anthony Brown taking it down the sideline inside the 20-yard line. The emphasis on turning that football over, takeaways for the Dallas defense. And on the very first play, Anthony Brown comes up with one.
Now the question is when
Rolling on the field is a completed catch and a fumble by a player who was not down by contact, resulting in a change of possession. First down, Dallas.
The question is here, when the catch is made, does Chido Awuzie touch him as he's down? We'll take a look here. Watch Chido Awuzie come up from behind. So there's the catch. We got a good catch. Nobody has touched him yet. Has the ball. Oh, and out it comes. Yep. Clearly a fumble. Clearly a fumble. Any change of possession gets reviewed, and that's what Carl Shuffers, our referee, is doing right now. He's reviewing this, but this isn't going to take long, in my opinion.
Cowboys would have the football at the 16-yard line, inside the 20, the 15-yard line.
Boy, and you want to talk about a bugaboo for San Francisco. They were minus 25 last year in turnover differential. I don't want to say it led the league because it's not what you want to lead the league in, but that's what it did. Second was Tampa Bay at minus 18. Cowboys were plus 3 in turnover differential. But when you're minus 25 in turnover differential, I mean, you have no shot, and they didn't. Then on the flip side, part of the reason they set an NFL record last year defensively for fewest takeaways. So
they only
bad combination.
They only had 2 interceptions on defense last year.
That set an NFL record, by the way.
And that will lead you on your way to a 4-12 record.
7 total takeaways. That also set an NFL record. By the way, the previous record was 11, and the 2015 Dallas Cowboys were part of that. There were 4 teams. Cowboys were one of them. Wait, Carl Shuffers has taken a long time, and I'm not. They must be seeing something that I am not. As I thought when he hit the ground, no one had touched him. And we'll get a look here. He's down. Ball is out. Yeah. So they're probably just looking to see where do they spot this football. Or did Anthony Brown step out back there? Yeah. So Carl Shuffers out on the field. They're reviewing it, but there's no question it's a fumble and a Dallas.
Review. The pass is incomplete.
Oh!
It'll be second down. Please set the game clock to 10:24.
And we should point out that on reviews they use the home broadcast on the preseason games.
Yeah, I did
we
not
will
see
take
that.
Another look.
Excuse me, Bill. I did not see that coming, but now I'll look at it from that standpoint. I thought they were looking at it from the standpoint of was he touched as he was down. So, okay.
Incomplete pass.
Yep.
So back at the 25, 2nd and 10. Muscling his way forward past the 30 to the 31-yard line as the Niners are resting their top 3 running backs tonight. Leighton Vander Esch, linebacker for the Cowboys, big number 55. Last season, of course, he made the Pro Bowl as a rookie with a rookie record 176 tackles.
Well, he was good, wasn't he? Really good.
Alongside Jalen Smith,
who was good, really good.
Probably has Pro Bowls in his future as well. He sets the tone for this defense. We've seen it training camp. Incomplete, and the flag comes out.
They're going to get Jeff Heath here. Heath hooks him here at the top of the route. So they're going to tell us number 38. Go ahead, Carl Shuffers.
Pass interference. Defense number 38. Automatic. First down.
Good call. Not a good call if you're Jeff Heath, but there you see the hook on the arm there. They're going to call that one every time.
That's Ross Dwelly, the tight end for the Niners. Boy, George Kittle is their starter. Made the Pro Bowl last year. 88 catches for nearly 1,400 yards.
George Kittle last year set a record for tight ends in yardage, over 1,300 yards, as you mentioned, Bill. Averaged 15.5 a catch. That's a tight end. 15.5.
Miller Lite defensive starters for the Cowboys tonight. They're resting Malik Collins. Daniel Ross starts in his place. The linebacking core with Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith. Joe Thomas in there for Sean Lee, who has a minor knee injury. And you see the secondary as well. And more from Santa Clara. Good time to order a Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. 30 miles south of the Golden Gate Bridge, downtown San Francisco. We're in Santa Clara. That's number 78, Sean Coleman, the backup left tackle for the Niners, who went down with the injury, now being carted off. Fourth-year man out of Auburn.
And the 49ers are already resting or have injured 7 other offensive linemen, so that makes number 8. They're going to be pretty thin as this game wears on in that offensive line. A lot of guys are going to have to go a long way. Same for the Cowboys offensive line, by the way, who I anticipate the starters being out on this next drive, out of the game, that is.
2nd and 10 from the 40. And Richie James, nothing there. And Jordan Lewis, what an offseason Jordan Lewis has had, number 27, the slot corner, starting slot corner for this team this year with Byron Jones out. And of course, last year he had that great game against New Orleans and really showed what he can do. And he's proven over the course of time the last year that he can fit into this Chris Richard defense. 3rd down and 10. Jordan Lewis, 3rd-round pick a couple of years ago out of Michigan. Nick Mullins to James again, hit immediately, short of the sticks. 48-yard line.
Well, they're going to leave the offense out, it appears.
Yes, it looks that way.
It's preseason. Nope. No, they thought better of it. Here comes the punt team. Nice play here by Anthony Brown on the slant, and that's why you want those 3rd and manageable situations, Bill. You sit there, you're 3rd and 10, you make the completion, and then you have to punt the football away.
Mitch Wisnowski, they used a 4th-round draft pick on a punter.
Yeah. 3-time Ray Guy Award winner. He's good.
If you're going to use a 4th-round pick on a punter, you might as well pick a 3-time Ray Guy Award winner out of Utah. He punts that one out of bounds. No chance for Reggie Davis on the return with 7:46 to play in the first quarter. Cooper Rush out there for the Cowboys when we come back. Where do your donations to the Salvation Army go? Wherever hope is the only thing left. Donate today. The Salvation Army, doing the most good. Dak Prescott 4 for 4 throwing the football on his lone drive of this game for 23 yards. Babe, that is a quarterback rating of 90.6.
Well, 4 for 4 and 1 completion to himself.
That's right.
But a ball that got batted back to him.
4 for 4 and passed one to number 4. And so Cooper Rush, number 7, is in the game, starting at his own 14-yard line. As the backup's in there on offense now. Joe Looney, the center, of course, started 16 games in the regular season, 2 more in the postseason last year for Dallas. And nothing there for Mike Weber, the 7th-round draft pick out of Ohio State.
You see Joe Looney, who did a fantastic job filling in last year for Travis Frederick, and as you mentioned, Bill, played 16 games. Mike White, in his first preseason game, came out and he said he was comforted because when he went out, he saw Joe Looney was his center. So he said, okay, if I don't know something, I can ask him. I got a veteran guy. Same thing for Cooper Rush right now.
2nd and 10. And across the middle, Cedric Wilson, who gets an opportunity after being injured last year. Former draft pick out of Boise State last year. All right, Dak Prescott. We showed him on his first possession of the game. Here's a few of his connections. One to Michael Gallup.
The new and improved Dak Prescott, right?
That's what they say.
That's what they say. We're going to find out.
Weber Dances his way for 3 to the 32-yard line. You've been out at training camp in Oxnard Bay. What have you seen from Dak Prescott so far?
There's some nuances, subtle things, but I don't think anybody's going to watch a game this year and go, whoa, that's a different guy. Now, I do think with Kellen Moore and John Kitna now the quarterback coach, I think they're doing a great job with him. I think he has a lot of confidence in what they're doing. Kellen Moore, of course, calling the plays tonight for the first time.
And past the 40, Wilson again to the 43-yard line, first down.
Excuse me, Cedric Wilson, a guy you want to keep your eye on. Draft pick last year by the Cowboys, injured his shoulders 2 days into training camp, so he was put on IR very early. There you see him on the slant top, 2 for 2 on receptions, and it's a guy that Sanjay Law, the Cowboys wide receiver coach, said he sits up in the front of the class, he takes notes, very diligent about everything he does, both on and off the field.
Has a couple of catches here. Wide open is Blake Jarwin. Inside the 30, inside the 25-yard line.
Boy, Cooper Rush getting great pass protection, and he's taking advantage of it. Look at that pass pro. And he's got Blake Jarwin wide open. Nice little touch on that ball. Blake Jarwin, by the way, Bill, who just looks faster. And I asked him in camp, I said, man, you look faster. He said, I am. But I've yet to find a guy, Bill, where you say you look faster and say, nah, I've actually slowed down a little. But I think he gained so much confidence in that final game of the regular season against the Giants. The 3 touchdown catches. Now he's got Jason Witten back tutoring him. Good combo.
33 yards on that catch and run. Weber down to the 22-yard line.
Mike Weber, kind of a forgotten man in this camp. 7th round draft pick out of Ohio State, because everybody's been raving about Tony Pollard, but they like this kid as well. Of course, I guess if you draft somebody, you like him, right? But
yeah, he's 7th round pick. The Cowboys drafted a running back in the 7th round last year out of Alabama, another big school. Weber, of course, was once upon a time a teammate of Zeke Elliott's in college, and then he basically replaced Elliott as the lead back in 2016 for Ohio State. Down the seam and incomplete. So to bring up a 3rd down for Cooper Rush.
That's Devin Smith there, and it looked like he almost pulled himself out of the game. I don't think that happened, though, because that wasn't a big hit or anything, but different package. Here we go, 3rd down again.
Devin Smith, another Buckeye who's had not 1 but 2 ACL injuries early in his career. From a high draft pick of the New York Jets.
And this is where you got to convert if you're Cooper Rush. Figure out a way to get your team in the end zone.
With an empty backfield. Under pressure. And throws it away.
Niners came with a blitz from the left side of the Cowboys offensive line. Blake Jarwin stayed in the block, but they get a free runner inside. Cooper Rush just takes this one, throws it away wisely. Doesn't take a sack here. Well documented, the number of sacks Dak Prescott took last year, 2nd most in the NFL. So you get rid of the ball and you shorten up the field goal.
56 sacks last year. Maher, 40-yard field goal attempt. Has the distance, and it is good. He's 2 for 2, and the Cowboys take the early 6-0 lead with just over 4 minutes to play in the first quarter in this preseason game number 1. This game is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Cowboys get a 2nd straight field goal, their 2nd drive of this game, 64 yards in 9 plays. So the Dak drive was 65 yards in 9 plays, and Cooper Rush 64 yards in 9 plays. And Maher 2 for 2, a 6-0 lead. Brought to you by Ford, the Cowboys scoring drive. And now Brett Maher has the football teed up. DJ Reed deep for San Francisco. And Maher once again sends it to the back of the end zone. San Francisco will start at its own 25-yard line. So Cooper Rush was 3 for 5 for 59 yards on that first drive.
Yeah, the last one, again, San Francisco brought a blitz off the slot to the left side of the Cowboys offense. Cowboys didn't pick it up. Don't know if it was a hot read. You just never know when you don't know the play call and the protection call. But I do know this, you're not supposed to have a free runner there, which San Francisco got, and Cooper Rush had to throw it away.
Cowboys keeping those linebackers in there. Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch still in the game for the second series for San Francisco from the 25. Nick Mullins at quarterback for the Niners. And here comes Jalen Smith. And not much there in the running game for San Francisco. Jalen Smith. Boy, what a story he was, coming off that devastating knee injury in the Fiesta Bowl, playing for Notre Dame and coming back. And it was his coming out party last year.
I really thought, Bill, he got better by the game last year. And it was such a horrific injury that it wasn't the typical ACL where you're going to come back in the next year and it takes you a year. It really took him 3 years, in my opinion, to get that thing back. But he played great last year.
That's Levine Toilolo out of Stanford.
If it's a tight end, you're out of Stanford.
That's right.
You're either Stanford or Notre Dame.
Well, there's three in this game. There's Dalton Schultz for the Cowboys. There's Toilolo and Caden Smith from Flower Mound Marcus.
Yeah, there we go, draft pick.
Number 89, fifth-round draft pick out of Stanford, who had 47 catches for Stanford last year. Look forward to seeing him tonight for the Niners. 36-yard line, first down. Mullins under pressure, and the big tight end can't hold on that one as Leighton Vander Esch comes up and was ready to put the hit on him. How about this Dallas defense of Rod Marinelli and the pass game coordinator Chris Richard?
Well, here you see Leighton Vander Esch just against Philadelphia, just sitting in the hole, gets the interception, and then turns into the running back. And I believe he was when he was playing 8-man football in Idaho. But watch that. Then this is Jalen Smith and Vander Esch coming up here to make the stop against Seattle. Jalen Smith pushes him outside, and Vander Esch is right there.
Out in the flat. And brought down immediately by Cheeto Awuzie. Richie James. Bring up a third down for San Francisco.
Yeah, and the last time the Cowboys had him in 3rd and 10. Got him off the field after an 8-yard completion. They got him 3rd and 10 here again. This time Taco Charlton sitting there at right defensive end for the Cowboys. Wouldn't be a bad time for him to go in and make a play.
This is an opportunity for him. Cheeto on the coverage on Kendall Bourne. No flag. And it's punt time for San Francisco.
Boy, real nice play there by Cheeto, and Mullins has plenty of time on this ball. And Cheeto just right there with him. You see Cheeto Awuzie at the top of your screen here. Little kind of out corner route here, and a little grab there. Yeah, you see Bourne getting up. He wants to grab. Okay, Cheeto may have got away with one right there. He pulls Bourne toward him, and that propels Cheeto to go get the football.
And the Wisnowski punt for the corner on the near side, and it dribbles into the end zone. The Cowboys will take over at the 20. Cooper Rush for his second series, just under 2 minutes to go in the first. Let's go down to the sideline and Lindsay.
Yes, Bill Jones. Cheeto Awuzie showing out for San Jose, which is his hometown. You're seeing him jump up and hit his head on the crossbar at practice to kind of get things going. They do this loop around the field at the beginning of practice, and I asked him about it. He goes, to be honest, I don't think that's anything special. I think a lot of guys can do that. But leading the Purge squad, Google the sound if you haven't heard the siren from the movie The Purge. He's all about leading the Purge squad. They play the siren to start the meetings off, guys. It's really intense. Cheeto had a great offseason already showing out.
That's great. The pass to Jon'Vea Johnson at the 26-yard line. Yeah, I saw Cheeto before practice hit his head on the crossbar. Unfortunately, we didn't have our cameras rolling at the time. So when I talked to him a couple of days later, and I talked to some of his teammates too, they said, yeah, he's got, of all of the guys in the secondary, and I guess they were including Byron Jones in that, he's got the most athletic ability. Now, Byron Jones broad jumped 12 feet at the combine, but Awuzie can jump out of the gym too. And so he did it again for us. And not in concussion protocol either after that.
I see that, Bill, and all I can think of is Gus Frerotte in Washington after scoring a touchdown, intentionally hitting his head into the stands. It was concrete, and suffering a neck injury and having to leave that game. Of all the injuries, there have been a few. I think the Gramatica brother did the leap and tore his ACL, and Cheeto's got to be careful. No, you got a helmet on, but
Antonio Brown had one just recently. In cryotherapy. And John Vay Johnson can't hold on. The rookie out of Toledo, undrafted.
Boy, that's just a flat-out drop there. Got to catch that ball. Cooper Rush puts it right on him. And John Vay Johnson, he'll make, you see his eyes go turn upfield to see where I'm going to go run with it. I always say it doesn't matter the level. Playing Pee Wee, Pop Warner, junior high, high school, college, or pro. You turn your head, you drop the ball. He's shown flashes, but then he'll do something like that in training camp. And not a good sign.
Chris Jones with the punt. It's short. Calling for the fair catch is Dante Pettis, who makes it at the 35-yard line. That's where San Francisco will take over on offense for the third time in this first quarter. 35 seconds left in the quarter. Flag down on the play back near the line of scrimmage.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 50. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's Leroy Reynolds. Time to recognize tonight's Bank of America Offensive Featured Player of the Game, and tonight's player not playing in the game, but welcome back Jason Witten. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys.
On that first day of training camp, Bill, I looked out there and I thought, well, that's pretty cold-blooded. They gave away Jason Witten's number to some rookie. And then I looked and I said, oh, that's Jason Witten. He's back.
He looked pretty spry out there. Is that what you're saying?
He did.
Out on the practice field.
That year off did him well.
Looks to be in great shape. Boy, there is no happier camper in Oxnard, it really looks like, than Jason Witten. At age 37, after a year in the ESPN Monday Night Football booth.
Well, it's interesting, Bill, because he's always been a fan favorite out there in Oxnard. But this year you could just feel a little bit more love for Jason Witten because he was back. Fans really showing him their appreciation for what he's done and for what they hope he'll do this season.
You know, and he seems to be really relishing every opportunity. I mean, he's sticking around. Most times players will do interviews coming off the field, maybe at the most every other day or every third day. He is out there after every practice. Okay, you want to talk to me? Yes, I'll talk.
By the way, he's not tied with Bob Lucy. He's tied with Bob Lilly for those 11 Pro Bowls.
Bob Lilly, of course, Mr. Cowboy, who, by the way, just turned 80 a couple of weeks ago. Jason Witten, not that old, but he's closing in. John Deere, the official tractor of the Dallas Cowboys. Here in San Francisco, you see the sights of San Francisco. One of the sights, and Tristan Hill, the second-round draft pick out of Central Florida, makes his Cowboys preseason debut as the second-team defense is out there for this series. At the 28-yard line, first play of the second quarter for Nick Mullins. And finding a little bit of running room for the first down is Austin Walter, a Texan from Crosby, Texas, rookie out of Rice.
And that first unit defense, what was out there, really played well. And really, it was defense that carried this football team last year, Bill. 6 in points allowed. Of course, offensively, they were 22nd. Right in front of them, in terms of points scored offensively, was
these guys?
Yeah, the San Francisco 49ers.
And they finished 4-12 and lost their quarterback after 3 games. Nick Mullins knocked out of bounds by Donovan Olumba as Richie James. And that's another first down for San Francisco. And there is a flag on the field. Looks like it might go against Dallas.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 29, defense, penalties declined. Result of the play, first down.
There it is. Pretty easy call to make there right up at the top, and then falls down on top of that.
That's C.J. Goodwin.
C.J. Goodwin, who the Cowboys picked off the Cincinnati practice squad last year. Broke his arm after 2 games with the Cowboys, came back late in the season. There's your guy, Luke Gifford. Nice hit there.
Out of Nebraska, rookie undrafted linebacker, Luke Gifford.
Luke Gifford, who, by the way, broke and dislocated his finger in practice this past week. Number 57 right there. Nice job. And not to practice the next day, and there he is in full pads practicing. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
And playing on Saturday night.
I mean, if you were an accountant, they would say, look, take 2 weeks off, come back, let me look at it. He's back out there the next day.
It'll roll out. Had an open receiver, but tipped by Donovan Olumba and goes incomplete.
Nice play by Olumba there. Just getting a fingertip on that ball and redirecting it. There it is, because he's got him open. Mullins has him open. Just got to figure out a way to get that ball about 6 inches higher. Nice play by Olumba.
Donovan Pettis, number 18. Dante Pettis. Second-round draft pick of the Niners last year. They've invested in some wide receivers for Kyle Shanahan's offense the last couple of years. We're in 2 this year in the second and third round. There's an open receiver. And that's a first down for San Francisco.
Talk about those receivers. Kendrick Bourne, who we saw earlier with a catch. He led the 49ers in receiving yards with 487. That was 99th in the NFL.
Wow. 487 led
the team.
He had 42 catches for 487 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Well, they drafted Dante Pettis a year ago in the second round. Didn't have a great year, 27 catches in 12 games, so they're looking.
Under pressure, and it's picked off. That's that man, Luke Gifford, again.
Who needs 2 good hands?
The rookie out of Nebraska. Playing hurt.
And playing well. They have liked him through training camp. This is a guy who played quarterback in high school at Lincoln, Nebraska, so he's probably got a pretty good feel for where the football's going. That's a heck of a catch. I mean, that hand is all bandaged up. He's really like the fugitive. He's a one-armed man out there, so to hang on to this football, that's fantastic.
Boy, getting to training camp, everyone, the coaches said, watch number 57. We're watching him tonight. Luke Gifford, number 57, with the interception for the Dallas defense, which had a total of 9 interceptions last year. Ben Bloom, the linebackers coach. Wow, he can develop some linebackers. How about Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith? Got a new one there in Luke Gifford.
I really like Coach Bloom, but one thing I've noticed, it's easier to develop first-round and second-round picks at linebackers than it is when you've got free agents.
He's got a free agent here in Gifford. By the way, give credit to Kerry Hyder, number 51 here, with the pressure on the left side of the Cowboys defense out of Austin LBJ and Texas Tech. Kerry Hyder is the first man on the practice field every single day at training camp. 2nd and 5, Darius Jackson has a first down inside the 45 to the 44.
Cooper Rush out front. I don't want to say leading this, Bill, because he got out there. Watch Cooper Rush. He says, what am I supposed to think I'm supposed to block? I don't know. You're way bigger than me. Look at him. I mean, you better watch out. You're going to get rolled up on.
Well, he was judicious.
Quarterbacks are smart. You want to stay healthy, don't go blocking guys 100 pounds, weigh 100 pounds more than you.
First down from the 44. Jackson waits. Finds a hole to the right side and near another first down.
Nice run there by Darius Jackson. And until Alfred Morris got to camp a couple of days ago, Darius Jackson had the most carries of any back that was in training camp, and that was 6. No one else had a single NFL carry. He has had 6. Of course, Zeke Elliott holding out. He's got a few. But Alfred Morris came into camp. Matter of fact, Alfred Morris we will not see tonight, but he wears number 23 now. He was 46. And that number is held by Jordan Chun, first-year player out of Troy. And I asked him, hey, did you ask him for the number? He said, no, he offered it. I said, don't worry about it. He said, I got other things to worry about. I said, he didn't ask for a Rolex or anything like that? He said, nope. He just said, you can have it if you want it.
Well, that sounds like Alfred Morris.
Yeah. Man who still has his, what year Mazda?
It goes way back.
Yeah, 70-something maybe.
Credit 9-yard pickup for Darius Jackson. Had those 6 carries for 16 yards in the season finale last year. Of course, he was originally a 6th-round draft pick of the Cowboys in 2016, same year they drafted Zeke. And he went away to Cleveland, suffered a knee injury 2 years ago, came back, was with Green Bay first last year, and then Dallas picked him up and was active for 4 games. 2nd and inches. It's Reggie Davis, number 11, in motion across the backfield. We'll go ahead and give it to Jackson, and he stopped for a loss this time, bringing up a 3rd down.
Nothing there for him, just a little bit of dancing in the backfield, though, and that's going to be a loss of about 1 yard. We're calling it 3rd and 3 on the scoreboard, and that's what we've got here. Again, Cooper Rush on the last 3rd and 3 hit John Vay Johnson right between the numbers. Johnson dropped it on a slant. Let's see what they do here.
He is split out wide to the left this time. Johnson is flanked out to the left. 3 receivers that way. Bumped his rush. Bumped out of the pocket, and he'll throw it away.
Adam Redmond just got thrown into the lap of Cooper Rush here. Watch, here we go. Number 61. He just gets shoved back and almost made the butt tackle right there on Cooper Rush. Showing
some upper body strength, Julian Taylor, 2nd-year man out of Temple.
Yeah, and you know, as an offensive lineman, once you get it, you know you're up high, and you know, okay, I've got no chance here. I'm just going to get pushed back, and that's exactly what happened.
All right, now 4th down for Cooper Rush. Trying to find a man open, had time. Now he'll heave it downfield. There's a flag down over the head, the intended target. Another flag as Rush goes down at the 40-yard line.
See, that second flag isn't a roughing the passer penalty. These are 2 separate infractions. One's down at the 20-yard line of San Francisco, and the other's back at the 40. Carl Schaeffer's one of the really good referees in this league.
There are 2 fouls on the defense on the play. Holding, number 36. That penalty's declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 57. That penalty will be accepted. Automatic. 1st down.
That's Dre Greenlaw, the rookie out of Arkansas, with the roughing the passer.
Looked for a moment like Cooper Rush was going to run it, and then he said, take a look here. And there it is. You just got to lay off. Can't do that. Came up high. It's so funny because I know there's guys that played in the 60s and 70s going, that is roughing the passer. I used to get dumped on my head.
Only 21-yard line, 1st down. Good pursuit that time. That's Greenlaw.
Yeah. Greenlaw said, well, okay. Yeah. I better do something good here because I'm going to get screamed at when I come off the field.
That's part of it, too, learning the rules in the NFL for a rookie coming in. When the quarterback's out of the pocket like that, it doesn't matter, as opposed to the college game. But the 49ers have added to their linebacking core with Quan Alexander as their weak side linebacker, and Dre Greenlaw, the 5th-round pick, has already moved up to 2nd behind Alexander. Their stud in the middle, Fred Warner, 2nd-year man out of BYU. 2nd down to Dalton Schultz. And at the 17-yard line, will bring up a 3rd. Cut the distance about in half there with the completion to Schultz.
Nice catch by Schultz here.
Kellen Moore, in his 1st game, calling plays for the Cowboys offense. Let's hear from him.
That's part of this time of the year. You go through training camp, we're going to install a lot of stuff we feel really good about that we've done in the past. Maybe we flavor it up, whatever. We're going to try some things. Some things we're going to look at it and say, that's not really, maybe we don't want to do that. And there are going to be some things we like. Maybe we want to explore those things. And so it's a great time of year to do that, and we continue to communicate and get a feel for it.
And let's see what they like here on third down, whether they like this or not. Rush, empty backfield, fade for far corner of the end zone, goes incomplete, intended for Reggie Davis.
You got to get this ball up a little bit quicker. Didn't get caught, but Reggie Davis is going to be about 3 yards past the end line here. Ball sitting down there at about the 17-yard line. You kind of catch it and throw it. Just one too many steps here. You see at the end of this thing, even if this ball's caught, it's caught way past the end line.
That's Dante Johnson defending. Although he's wearing a linebacker number, he is a cornerback. And so Brett Maher is on this time for a 35-yard field goal attempt.
Missed it.
But it is no good. One thing about him in training camp, there has been a little bit of inconsistency in camp, and you certainly don't want to bring that to game day with 8.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. 7-Eleven and Stripes, proud partners of the Dallas Cowboys. But what a great night in the Bay Area to kick off the 2019 season for the Dallas Cowboys against the San Francisco 49ers. Taco Charlton getting a lot of playing time in this first half with an opportunity. Of course, the Cowboys have lost Robert Quinn now for the first couple of games of the regular season. Brett Maher now 2 for 3 on field goals. He connected from 25 and 40. He missed from 35 a moment ago. And under pressure, Nick Mullins fires incomplete. The pass is dropped by Kendall Bourne. But it was Taco applying the pressure on the quarterback that time. As if on cue, Taco delivers a blow.
Wow, no kidding. And good job by Nick Mullins here. He sees Taco Charlton bearing right down on him. Watch Mullins just hang in the pocket, throws a perfect strike to Kendrick Bourne here. There's Taco right up the middle. Wow. That is just, you get a hand on it? No, just a flat out drop.
Justin March Lillard, 53 defending. Corner blitz, down the seam, it's complete for a first down out past the 45-yard line. Ross Dwelly.
They've got enough tight ends on this roster, San Francisco does.
They do.
7 tight ends they brought to camp. Now, Garrick Selleck is on physically unable to perform this. He had back surgery, but they got 6 guys lined up.
That was a 21-yard pickup to Dwelly. And now out of the backfield goes Austin Walter for a pickup near the first down marker.
Nice little slip screen there by San Francisco. Good job getting out front. There's Taco Charlton coming off. I don't see a lot of pressure on him, but in his 3rd year, I mean, they're expecting him. It's kind of Fisher cut bait year, I think, for Taco Charlton. 1 sack last year. That came against the Giants in the first game of the year when they didn't block him. That was it.
And there's Walter again. It's near the 40-yard line. And, you know, Taco, the year before, his rookie season, had 3 sacks. Let's check out Taco on the previous play. See if there might be a reason he came out of the game. See anything? Yeah. Shot to the midsection. On the 42, first down for San Francisco. And to the 35-yard line, Gifford on the stop.
Luke Gifford's going to have about 52 tackles in this game, Bill. Nice job of just getting him to the ground here. It's not easy to get these guys down in open space like that.
Tyree Mayfield, number 48, on that reception. One of those 7 tight ends the Niners have in camp. 2nd and 3. And straight up the middle. That is Brandon Wilds. Brandon Wilds was signed today by the San Francisco 49ers.
That's phenomenal. Their top 4 running backs are all either out or just scratched from the game. And we were watching earlier today, Bill, Wilds, who played in Atlanta, so he knows Kyle Shanahan's offense, he was in the end zone, and they were literally showing him kind of where to line up, where the play was going to go.
Basically, his teammates were showing him where to line up. And Brandon Wilds, in the first half of this game, breaks free for a 15-yard run. Fake to Wilds, and a wide-open receiver inside the 5 and on into the end zone. It's a touchdown for San Francisco. And that is Jalen Hurd, the Baylor Bear, third-round draft pick.
Man, that's a breakdown in coverage by the Cowboys. He is just wide open. See him on the crossing pattern here. They run a little misdirection. This is a staple of this offense and the Shanahans, both Mike Shanahan and his son Kyle.
And you're not bringing that guy down with one person.
They bought every. Well, he was, as you well know, he was a running back at Tennessee. So he's not afraid of contact.
Wow.
Before going to Baylor, and they converted him to a wide receiver.
But he played some running back at Baylor also. We'll talk more about him as the evening goes on. But what a talent he is. And Kyle Shanahan obviously felt very highly about him, as did John Lynch, the Niners GM. And the Niners have taken the lead. San Francisco leads Dallas 7-6 with just over 5 minutes to play. Let's take a look at that Jalen Hurd touchdown.
Yeah, good play design here by San Francisco. Hurd's going to come across. They're going to clear out Alumba down here at the corner. We let it run here. There you see Alumba at the bottom of the screen getting his back turned. Now, it's impossible for me to tell you who screwed up there, but somebody did, okay? But again, without knowing the defensive call, one thing I hate about analysts that sit there and point out a guy because you don't know what they called. But clearly that wasn't the way they planned to defend that play.
Cedric Wilson on the kickoff return. Hit hard. There are a couple of flags thrown as he gets near the 25-yard line.
Two flags down. We'll see if they're for the same infraction.
During the return, holding, number 28, return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's Jameel Showers. Typically when two flags get thrown, you did it, right?
It's
confirmation.
Yep, confirmation. So the Cowboys will start at their own 10-yard line. Jameel Showers, who 3 years ago was, well, he was probably neck and neck with Dak Prescott in the quarterback battle for the third quarterback behind Tony Romo and Kellen Moore as the training camp began. And of course, there's a flag thrown from the secondary. He was in that preseason opener when we first saw Dak Prescott show what he could do in a game. He gets the Rams.
Well, that's why you're sitting here looking at Cooper Rush, and we're going to see Mike White in the second half at some point. And all of a sudden, you're the least important player on the football team when you're the backup quarterback, but you become the most important.
There's no foul on the play.
I love it when the flag gets thrown and they announce there's no flag foul. But you go back to that year, as you say, Dak was the third kind of quarterback,
right?
Fourth-round draft pick. Kellen Moore gets hurt, he moves up to 2. Tony Romo gets hurt, he moves up to 1. So you better have your other guys ready to play. We saw it with Nick Foles in Philadelphia leading them to the Super Bowl.
And before you know it, it's a 13-3 division championship season over the head of the intended receiver, the tight end.
Just missed Blake Jarwin down there.
So it'll bring up third down and 6.
Jarwin hitting the middle of the field.
Texas Lottery proudly supporting Texas education and veterans. Play the Texas Lottery today.
All right, here we go. 3rd and 6, and the Cowboys are just 1 of 6, Bill, tonight on third down. Got to start converting these to keep your drives going.
And off the hands of Dalton Schultz, the tight end.
Well, let's make that 1 of 7 on third down.
And it's punt time for Dallas.
Really not Dalton Schultz forte here. They got him really as an in-line blocker, drafted him from Stanford. Not really a chance on that one, but a little wide. But again, that linebacker underneath with that angle for the quarterback, it really scares you off from putting the ball right on him.
The linebacker David Mayo out of Texas State. Now Dante Pettis with an opportunity from his own 39. And hoping to get back to the 39 now. Loss of a yard on the return.
Got a flag down back at the 15-yard line of the Cowboys, somewhere in that punt formation. There we go. Tend to see a lot of that yellow in these preseason games, don't you?
Especially in the first preseason game.
Sometimes you feel like you're watching the Tour de France. And
got another one at the 38-yard line. Where the ball is being placed down after the return by Pettis. 2 on the play.
Yeah, we got separate infractions.
There are multiple fouls
Yes,
by the return team on the play. Holding number 36. That penalty is declined. Illegal block in the back. Number 53. That penalty is accepted. 10 yards. First down.
Martin Azacha, former Cowboy,
Yes,
number 53.
Boy, and the Cowboys just cannot get it done on third down here. 1 of 7 on third down. All different reasons. Didn't pick up a blitz. Had a drop ball by John V. Johnson. Cooper Rush got flushed out of the pocket. Saw that last play going to Dalton Schultz. Just wasn't a whole lot there. Again, don't panic about Kellen Moore's offense just yet. Let's wait one more series, Bill, and then we'll panic.
All right, so what have you seen as you observe practice?
Yeah,
How much can you detect from that the changes that might be on the horizon here?
Not a ton. Not a ton, because they're not going to show you everything, obviously, in training camp, because anybody can go watch it. You got video, all that. But one thing you're going to see a lot more shifts and a lot more motion. That's what Boise State did. Kellen Moore grew up with it. Let this run play, and I'll further that discussion.
On the 27, and an end around, and running room for a first down. A pickup of 13 yards for Deebo Samuel. So we saw the one rookie, the 3rd-round pick, and now the 2nd-round pick out of South Carolina, Deebo Samuel, and there is a Cowboy down at the 35-yard line.
And I believe that's Luke Gifford, who has had such a good game.
And such a good camp so far.
Honestly, I was hoping it was that hand and just got shook up, but it's not. It looks like that left leg just kind of gets buckled underneath him. There you see him grabbing it. Wow. Didn't need to see that.
There's Luke Gifford earlier in the game, had an interception. Rookie undrafted out of Nebraska.
They played really more of a rush guy at Nebraska, and then they moved him inside. And again, it's been having a heck of a camp, and you just got to hope this isn't anything serious. But I do want to get back to Kellen Moore, and everybody was down on Scott Linehan for a variety of reasons, but there wasn't motion, there wasn't a lot of that stuff, but that's what he believed in, getting the quarterback up. And to be honest with you, Tony Romo liked that. Tony's probably listening. He wanted to get up there, call the play. Think of Peyton Manning. He wants to get up there, look at the defense, be able to get to his Rolodex of plays. Aaron Rodgers, same deal. So a lot of ways to skin a cat. And I'll go back to Marvin Harrison, right, with Indianapolis, caught 1,100 balls, made the Hall of Fame, never moved from the right side of that offense. Never. All 1,100 balls caught lining him up on the right side. Defenses knew exactly where he was going to be. They couldn't stop him. So while it's great that you motion and show all these different looks, there's 2 ways to do it.
Yeah. Doesn't necessarily translate into more production. And that'll be the test, is how much production they get out of the new offense. And there's a flag down as
now
Walter. It's every play.
Yeah. By the end of this thing, the officials will need rotator cuff surgery, no question.
Holding, number 71, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
That's Willie Beavers.
Yeah, that's Carl Sheffers, the referee who administers. The referee always gets on the mic and tells us what happened, and he's probably saying to his guys at halftime, okay, let's let a little bit of this go. This game may never end.
Well, march them back to the 32 for a 1st and 19 now for San Francisco. Under pressure, another flag, another play, another flag, in fact 2 flags.
Yep, separate infractions again. Let's see if they don't get for going to the knees of Nick Mullen here, but he got pushed
Holding.
into him.
Number 71.
Okay, there we go.
Offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That's Willie Beavers again.
Yep, he was holding Taco Charlton, and at the end of this build, Taco Charlton goes low, but again, he was being grabbed. See Taco at the right side of the screen. As he's getting held, he comes down under the legs of Nick Mullins there. But all right, Kyle Shanahan, what do you have for 1st and 29? When you look at that play chart, I don't think it's on there.
They got a draw play, and they got Dorrance Armstrong delivering the hit at the 20-yard line for a loss of 2.
You know what else they got, Bill? They got 2nd and 31 now. Again, not on the chart. You know, you've got that play chart over there these coaches are looking at. They got nothing for this. They got nothing for this.
Well, Dorrance Armstrong in his 2nd year out of Kansas. He's had a strong camp.
He has, and it was interesting. Last year he started out well in camp, and then he just kind of hit a plateau like a lot of rookies do, but kind of picking up where he left off from that camp.
We saw Gifford being carted off. And that's Chris Covington with 59 with the tackle. Thumbs up from Luke Gifford. High school quarterback at Southeast High School in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Boy, I don't care who it is, you just hate to see an injury like that, the guy get carted off. And again, a rookie trying to make this football team who's really done an outstanding job in training camp. Sometimes you can't take it from the practice field to the game, but he certainly did that tonight. He was having a heck of a game, had the interception.
2 minutes to go here in the first half in Santa Clara. San Francisco leads Dallas 7-6. 2 minutes left here in the first half. Let's go down to the sideline and Lindsey Draper.
Yeah, Bill, something I am not happy to report. Luke Gifford obviously having an incredible training camp and a left ankle injury. He wasn't able to put any pressure on it, went into the medical tent, was carted off the field for x-rays, but just unfortunate for someone who is having such an incredible preseason. His teammate gathered around him and picked him up as best they could before he headed back to the locker room.
Okay, so left ankle for Luke Gifford.
All right, San Francisco, Bill, 1 of 3 on 3rd down. 3rd and 26. I'm going to just bet you they're going to be 1 of 4 after this play. Bet me.
Confidence in that Dallas defense. There's Jalen Hurd. And Hurd gets out to the 33-yard line for a pickup of 8 yards. Well, you're glad I didn't bet you, right?
30-second timeout.
I don't think Vegas would have had that bet on the board.
By the way, that Jalen Hurd there, when he was at Tennessee, he was Mr. Football in Tennessee in high school. Stud running back, 5-star recruit at Tennessee. He played running back ahead of Alvin Kamara at Tennessee. He was 2nd team All-SEC running back his sophomore year at Tennessee. And after his junior season, he was injured, suffered a concussion his junior season. He basically made a business decision at that point. Wanted to transfer. He wanted to switch positions to wide receiver. Thought he would have a longer career as a receiver than as a running back. Tennessee wanted to keep him at running back, I believe. He decided to transfer. Sat out a year after transferring to Baylor, and then he played receiver and a little bit of running back as well at Baylor.
6'4" and 227. You're probably not going to get beat up by many defensive backs.
That's right. High punt from Wisnowski. Taken at the 21 by Cedric Wilson, and scampers to the outside. The Cowboys with the 2-minute offense opportunity here, 72 yards away.
It's interesting in these preseason games. I said before, you're really not concerned about the result. Cowboys didn't win a game last year, but they won the division. And you want situations to come up, and one of those being your 2-minute offense. They work on it virtually every day in practice at training camp, and now you get a chance to bring it to the field. See what Cooper Rush can do with it.
Like the fact that 89 Blake Jarwin is out there. Young player, needs the work, and he's going to probably be an integral part of this Cowboys offense along with Jason Witten, a tight end, and Cedric Wilson. Another catch for him. He's having a good night.
Again, Cedric Wilson, a draft pick last year, injured just on the 2nd day of training camp practice, went to IR.
Move the chains. John V. Johnson, he does not hold on. He had a drop earlier and unable to hold on this time.
Boy, he is not doing himself any favors tonight. First one was just a clean drop. This one a clean drop, but I think he sensed the safety coming over to make a hit on him, which he did. But you're going to get hit. I remember a good friend of mine in Washington, a guy named Curtis Jordan, played at Texas
Tech. Yeah.
Grew up in Lubbock, had that West Texas accent, and he'd always say, might as well catch it. We're going to hit you anyway. So that was John V. Johnson right there. You're going to get hit anyway, so you might as well catch the football.
Let's take a look at it again.
Yep. Ball, good throw by Cooper Rush, and right there he just says, I don't think this is going to end well for me.
And a big hit delivered there. Greg Maben, the cornerback, number 30, was covering him, but it was safety coming across that got him.
Yeah, and to me, there's 4 receiver spots locked up. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, of course, Randall Cobb, who they picked up this year, and I think Taven Austin is your 4th, and he's going to be your punt returner most likely. So those 4 are good. But the rest of those guys on the roster, you almost throw a blanket around them. About 4 of them. Guyton, John V. Johnson. Cedric Wilson probably has a little step up on these guys, but they're looking for somebody
Reggie
here.
Davis is another one, number 11.
Looking for somebody in these 4 games to jump out, and John V. Johnson, in this game at least, is clearly taking a step backward. Thought Cedric Wilson has had a nice game so far.
The ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, they were looking to see if he had possession of it. I didn't really think he did. And obviously that was confirmed.
So from the 38, second down and 10. Haven't seen Jalen Guyton involved tonight. It should in the second half. He's had a nice camp out of North Texas and Allen High School.
Now right here, I'm going to go to somebody I can depend on. So I'm looking for Blake Jarwin. Finally, you say, you know what? I'm just going to give him the ball.
Dumps it out instead to Jordan Chunn. Gets out of bounds after a pickup of 1.
There's that number 46. Talked earlier. Alfred Morris had that number, and I asked him if he was trying to take it. And Jalen Chunn offered it back to Alfred Morris, and Alfred said, nah, I'm good. I'll worry about it later.
Now you got to convert here. You're going to give the Niners another opportunity with over a minute to play.
Again, Cowboys 1 of 7 on 3rd down. 3rd and 9. You know, I'd like my odds with Blake Jarwin if you can find him.
Looking that way, and has him. And right around where the first down marker is, and it is a first down for the Cowboys. They move the chains.
Yep. And he got out of bounds with this as well, stops the clock. Good play by Jarwin to get out of bounds here. That's all you want to do at that point. You got the first down. Love the coaches trying to give some help on the spot. They want to beat the 8th official on the field.
So still over a minute to play here. First down at the 48. Now what are they on 3rd down? They're 2 for 8. Out to Chunn. And does not get out of bounds.
Yep. Catch that swing pass. You're going to make 2 yards. Got to get out of bounds right there.
2nd and 8. And Jarwin for a pickup of 5. 37 seconds left.
49ers came with a blitz there. That's just a blitz adjustment by Jarwin. Cooper Rush sees it. Nice job. San Francisco brings more than Dallas can block. Jarwin just turns around. Cooper Rush gives him the football.
Kellen Moore, he's going to work from the sideline. He likes the feel of it, calling the plays on the sidelines.
Well, back to that last play here. You see San Francisco is going to bring the blitz. Jarwin sees it, just turns around. Of course, San Francisco will give that up all day right now. 37 seconds left. You want to complete a 5-yard pass. And sometimes that's why they do it. They just blitz not to get to the quarterback, but to make you throw that blitz break off.
Another 3rd down opportunity for Cooper Rush from the 45. And that time holding on is John Bay Johnson for the first down.
John Bay said, okay, I got to catch this one. 3 slants they've thrown to him now.
And Jarwin out of bounds at the 35.
Good job there. 20 seconds left. Right now you're in field goal range for Brett Maher. The interesting thing about Maher, Bill, excuse me, I'm so used to Brad sitting next to me. He was 6 of 7 from 50 plus.
Yeah, he's more reliable from beyond 50.
And hit a 62-yarder. Of course, Cowboys record 62-yarder. He gets inside, not quite as accurate.
And kicked a 57-yarder in the final preseason game in Houston last year. It might have been why he made the team. Dan Bailey was cut. Of course, Bailey wound up with the Vikings. Number 35, second down. John Bay Johnson makes the catch, inbounds.
That's nice. John Bay Johnson now getting a little bit of confidence. Runs a corner pattern here. Cowboys do a great job of picking up another San Francisco blitz. This time they have enough to protect. They leave an extra guy in. And it's pitch and catch for Cooper Rush and John Bay Johnson. Good throw by Cooper Rush.
Pickup of 18 yards to the 17-yard line with 15 seconds left. Cowboys with 1 timeout left. Wilson in motion. 3 receivers to the right side. Under pressure and out of the backfield, Jordan Chunn. With 9 seconds left at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, and Jason Garrett came on the field, took his last time out, and they're going to get the field goal team out here. Well, don't have to necessarily. You can take a shot in the end zone with 9 seconds. Jason Garrett's got to be thinking about this, though. Do I kick it, or do I take one more shot?
See what your quarterback can do with 9 seconds left.
Well, you're out of timeout, so
and so that's part of it. It's the mental aspect of it too, where you throw the ball.
You can't throw it underneath because if you get tackled, the clock runs out. You can't take a sack because if you get tackled, the clock runs out.
See how he handles it.
Probably some vertical routes here. 4 verticals, just straight up the field. Try to find one.
He throws incomplete with 4 seconds left. He was under pressure, wound up on his backside.
Yeah, he just threw that one away. Had Blake Jarwin in the flat.
It was DeMontre Moore out of Rowlett, Texas, and Texas A&M had delivered a hit on the quarterback.
Good job by Cooper Rush there. He knows he can't take a sack because the clock will run out. You don't get your field goal team on the field, so he throws it away wisely. Here comes Brett Maher again.
Maher's been good on his first 2 from 25 and 40, then missed a 35-yarder, and this a 31-yarder. And it is good. As time runs out here in the first half, the Cowboys take a 9-7 lead over the 49ers. 3 Brett Maher field goals in 4 attempts here in the first half. As Cooper Rush has gone all the way after Dak Prescott on the first possession of the game, led the Cowboys on a 65-yard 9-play drive. And it's Lindsey Draper standing by with Jason Garrett. Lindsey.
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, Jason Garrett, you just got a chance to evaluate 2-minute drill there. What have you seen from backup Cooper Rush tonight?
I thought Coop did a nice job in the 2-minute. You know, a lot of different situations you try to work on in practice, but nothing like being in a game situation like that. I thought he handled it well. I thought the guys handled it well.
You've gotten to evaluate Brett Maher 4 times tonight. You a little concerned at all about the kicking situation?
Yeah, obviously disappointed in the 3rd kick. The other ones seem to be pretty good, so we'll keep evaluating him. We'll keep giving him shots, but you know, he's been a good kicker for us.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, good to see you.
Guys.
Jason Garrett interview brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams, the official paint supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys lead the 49ers 9-7 at the half from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Dallas leads San Francisco 9-7 here in the Bay Area. We're in Santa Clara, a little distance away from Alcatraz. Rushing yards, Niners had 57, Dallas 38. Passing yards, 160 to 105. These stats brought to you by Miller Lite. 198 to 162 total yards.
Those are the two things Jason Garrett's going to be happy about. No turnovers and just 2 penalties in the first half.
There you go. It seemed like there was a penalty on every play, but I guess they went against San Francisco. Richie James is deep for the Niners to start this third quarter. Takes it a yard deep in the end zone. Runs into his own man at the 20 and hauled down at about the 24-yard line. That's where San Francisco will take over on offense with a new quarterback. Nick Mullins went the first half. Jimmy Garoppolo not playing tonight. C.J. Beathard will be the quarterback to start the second half.
C.J. Beathard, third-round pick. One of Kyle Shanahan's first picks in his first draft here, and the 49ers actually traded up in the third round to get C.J. Beathard. Grandson, by the way, a Hall of Famer, Bobby Beathard.
Who knows his quarterback talent. Didn't he draft a Babe Laufenberg back in the 80s?
He did. I think that's what basically cinched his Hall of Fame induction.
Beathard under pressure, and he is brought down. Jalen Jelks, who will not continue to wear that number 74 if he makes the regular season roster, because that one belongs to Mr. Cowboy Bob Lilly.
He's a very intriguing guy. Tall, long, 7th-round pick out of Oregon for the Cowboys. Really an intelligent guy. Had an opportunity to talk to him in training camp and happened to be here. And what's interesting, he just looks like a pass rusher. He just has that body of a pass rusher.
Looked like it on that play. Welcome to the preseason 2019 C.J. Beathard. Fires to the near side. Pass is complete to Walter.
C.J. Beathard. Now, San Francisco hasn't been good, period, over the last 2 years, but Beathard just 1-9 as a starter, 0-5 last year. Kyle Shanahan, though, says he's got a lot of confidence in him, as he does Nick Mullins, the other backup quarterback.
Shanahan says what he likes most about C.J. Beathard is his toughness. He's as fearless as anyone he has seen. And behind that San Francisco offensive line, the last 2 years, he's had to be tough and fearless. And over the middle, sitting down at the 40, fighting his way to the 42-yard line. And that's Caden Smith, the rookie out of Stanford and Flower Mound Marcus High School.
Is there any player who you don't know where they went to high school? I'm dead serious. If they went to high school in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, actually, how far can we draw that circle around?
In fact, I did a story on Caden Smith when he was a Marcus Marauder in Flower Mound. He won a national one-handed catch competition back, and there's a flag down. About the time that Odell Beckham Jr. made the catch for the Giants against the Cowboys, there was some national one-handed catch competition, and Caden Smith, as a high schooler, won it. He's a good receiving tight end, 5th-round pick.
So you don't say he has good hands, you say he has a good hand.
That's
nice.
Right.
Personal foul, chop block, number 84 and 66, 15-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Najee Torin is 66. 84 is Kendrick Bourne. We'll back him up to the 31-yard line.
That didn't look like much there, to be quite honest with you. But they called it, and the Cowboys are happy about it. 1st and 21. Here we go, San Francisco. They've had a lot of these.
Open over the middle to the 45-yard line. That's Bourne. Opportunity here to see these young draft pick pass rushers for the Cowboys.
You talked about C.J. Beathard's toughness, and that's why Kyle Shanahan likes him. Watch him hang in the pocket here and then just take a big shot at the end of this. Think playing quarterback's easy, Bill?
No, I do not.
It is in the 7-on-7 games. It gets a little more difficult here.
Dumps that one off to Walter, Austin Walter out of Rice. And they are able to move the chains.
Boy, they picked it up after a 1st and 21. Brad Marinelli is not going to be real happy about that defensively. Get him in 1st and 21. You're supposed to get him off the field.
It's what the Cowboys have in their front four on defense right now. The two ends. Keep an eye on 56, 5th-round draft pick Joe Jackson out of Miami. And we already saw 74, left defensive end Jalen Jelks out of Oregon. Had the sack on the first play of this possession. That's Brandon Wilds. There's a flag down, which will negate a 12-yard pickup for Wilds, who had no idea as late as yesterday that he would be actually playing in this game.
Holding, number 67, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay 1st down.
The hold here is by Justin School, number 67. Watch top of your screen. That's the guy we're talking about there, Jalen Jelks. He's trying to fight off this block, and he can't get off it because he's getting held. So easy to lose the edge there. And I don't know if I've ever seen a team, Bill, have so many 1st and longs, but San Francisco now at 1st and 20 again. Remember, they converted 1st and 21 a couple of plays earlier. It's a hard way to make a living.
So back at their own 43-yard line. There's another flag. Big hit delivered by either the running back or the linebacker, or by both. Austin Walter, and then stunned a little bit as the Cowboy linebacker. Is that Covington, 59?
Illegal shift, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
All right, here we go again, Bill. 1st and 25.
And that's Justin March Lillard. All right, it's Covington. It is 59. Yeah. It is 59. For a second there, I thought it was 53. Chris Covington out of Indiana, who, like Babe Laufenberg, went to Indiana as a quarterback.
Sure did. Isn't that amazing? All the quarterbacks that become linebackers.
That's right. A couple of them. Must be something that the Cowboys scouts look at. A former quarterback, we're going to convert you to linebacker.
It is no surprise that Cowboys camp in Oxnard brings out the stars. Hollywood is only an hour away from where the Cowboys practice training camp. Jamie Foxx is a regular, along with Mark Wahlberg, who happens to be opening a restaurant at the Star in Frisco coming up soon. Also wanted to let you guys know, Chris Covington, number 59, just went into the blue medical tent. I'll have an update for you as soon as I get one.
Yeah, he looked a bit woozy after taking that hit from Austin Walter on the previous play. He's taken off the field.
One thing I noticed there, Bill, on that shot with Lindsey and Mark Wahlberg, Jamie Foxx, I did not see a credential. You need a credential, a media credential, to get on the field.
That's if you're Babe Laufenberg or Bill Jones.
Well, we decided your face is your credential when you're those guys.
That's right. And Wahlberger's coming to the Star in Frisco this fall.
How about that?
He's a big Patriots fan. Of course, he's from Boston. Big Patriots fan, but he said he's predicting a Cowboys-Patriots Super Bowl. Did you see what Gil Brandt said at the Hall of Fame? He said that he feels like this is the year the Cowboys are going to win it all.
Did he mention who they were going to play?
Who
they were going to beat in the Super Bowl?
He did not. He didn't go
Wahlberg had both teams.
Yeah, he had both teams.
Of course, you knew New England. Again, from New England, and a pretty safe bet that they'll be there.
Third and very long. And there's another flag. By the way, they've been penalized, San Francisco, 9 times for 107 yards.
That's crazy. They're going to get a holding call here, and the Cowboys will decline it. Force a punt.
There's 10 penalties for 107.
Holding, number 60, offense. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
Of course, this one won't count because the Cowboys declined it. And there have been 3-4 instances of multiple penalties on the same play.
That's exactly
by the
right.
49ers. So, I mean, they have really collected them. There's Kyle Shanahan saying, this is not what I signed up for. Probably saying Dad never had these problems. Of course, Dad had John Elway as his quarterback.
So punt time for San Francisco. Here's their big 4th-round draft pick, Wisnowski, and Cedric Wilson with the fair catch And the Cowboys will start on offense at the 13-yard line. Will we see Mike White? No, we'll see Cooper Rush to start the third. Cowboys training camp presented by American Airlines is returning to Frisco August 20th through the 27th. Watch practice. Enjoy family-friendly activities throughout the week at the Star in Frisco. Admission and parking are free. Visit thestarinfrisco.com for more information and practice times.
And the best thing of all, Bill, it's indoors.
It is indoors.
It is indoors.
Back in Frisco,
Come on out.
Ford Center. Cooper Rush still in there at quarterback to start the third quarter.
Yeah, I know Jason Garrett wanted to give him the series coming out at least, which he is doing. There you see the numbers on Cooper Rush. Had a really good rookie preseason. Then last year, struggled a little bit. Just 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions. Now, in fairness, you get thrown out there, and there's guys don't know the snap count. They don't know where they're running, and they get a little.
So you don't read that much into it?
Well, no, correct.
And there's John V. Johnson. There's a flag down at the 30-yard line. John Bay come from out of bounds.
Established inbounds was the first to touch the pass. That's an illegal touch. Just loss of down at the previous spot. Third down.
And anytime you see the official hatless, that's what happened. When that receiver goes out of bounds, he immediately throws his hat off because it's not a penalty until, again, he becomes the first to touch. So if the ball gets thrown somewhere else or the quarterback runs, it's not a penalty, but the hat comes off. You see the hat come off, that receiver is dead.
And if he's the first to touch it, here comes the flag.
Yep.
Loss of down back to the line of scrimmage, which was the 15-yard line, and it's third down. And there's Dalton Schultz at the 20-yard line. He needed to get to the 22 for a first down.
Came up just short. Dalton Schultz, who played his football just about 20 miles up the road here north at Stanford. And he's played at Levi Stadium 3 times, twice in a Pac-12 championship game and then a bowl game. So he said he feels really comfortable coming back up here and playing. He really likes it.
Of course, he's from Utah. Richie James, the deep man. Casey Redfern is the punter. And from the 35, James, a 10-yard return to the 45-yard line. And that's where San Francisco will take over on offense. 9-7, Cowboys lead the 49ers. Jason Garrett's Cowboys lead the Niners 9-7 here in the third quarter. Let's go down to the sideline where Lindsay Draper has a very special guest.
Yes, I do. Very special indeed. Jalen Smith, always a treat to catch up. First of all, how do you handle seeing a young linebacker like Luke Gifford have an injury like that? Can you give me any update?
I mean, he's a stud. He's a wonderful guy, both on and off the field. Midwest guy from Nebraska, you know what I mean? So it's all love there. Wonderful getting to see him make plays out here.
And how do you personally kind of help you? Because you're in this veteran role now. How do you kind of take on the younger guys, the rookies?
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about motivation, leading by example, but also giving them the tools to succeed. And as long as they're sponges, willing to soak everything in, they'll be fine.
And for you personally, Jalen, how has this camp been? I know you guys don't listen to the outside noise, but this could be, if not the best, one of the best linebacking groups in the league.
It's all about what we do now. Yeah, we had a great run last year, but that's over. We're young, we're hungry, and we're ready to get after it. So, it all goes down to the practice field and then being able to show up on Sundays.
What has this summer been like for you, Leighton Vander Esch, Sean Lee, just putting together this work and coming out for 2019?
It's been a wonderful off season, just really paying attention to detail, for me. And then off the field, I went back to school, got my degree. Leighton got married. Sean's the GOAT You know, he's been around for forever, so it's a wonderful experience for us, but we love each other.
That was my next question about, can you just tell us about going back to Notre Dame and making that happen?
21 credit hours. It was definitely a challenge, but I graduated with the 3.0, and I got the degree from my mother.
Congratulations. I know she's proud of you. Last question. Can you clear up the difference of the Hot Boys and the Purge Squad? Like, who is a part of what? Where do you fall in all that?
I'm lucky. I'm in all of the groups. I'm in all of the groups, you know, but Purge Squad is the linebacking core because we're fast and we're physical and we love the game. We love contact. And then the Hot Boys is a lifestyle. It's so much more than a game. It's a true lifestyle, living a Hot Boy lifestyle. And it's pretty much the defensive line, myself, Anthony Brown. Yeah, I'm a Hot Boy, but we're going to have a round table once camp ends, and we'll see what new candidates we have.
Who's on the bubble?
That's classified information.
Thank you, Jalen. Hey, good luck. Have a great season.
Thank you so much.
Bill, back to y'all up in the Purge Squad spot.
Thanks, Lindsay, and thanks to Jalen Smith. And we are now joined by the Cowboys COO, Stephen Jones, here in the booth. Boy, don't you just love Jalen Smith's personality? He has so much charisma.
Well, it's so infectious, and you know, it's on the field, it's off the field. We're just so fortunate to have him. And then, of course, you know his full body of work and the history in terms of what he went through, you know, being probably going to be a top 5 pick at Notre Dame, playing in a bowl game for his team, and, you know, having what a lot of people thought could have been a catastrophic injury. But as he said, he's had a clear-eyed vision as to what he wants. He's done amazing things. You know, he's certainly going to be a big part of this football team. He's a leader, and we're just so fortunate to have him out there and being a part of the Cowboys.
And you have a clear-eye view now of what that linebacking core can do with him alongside Leighton, and get Sean Lee out there at the Sam now.
Well, he just, you know, one of the things that a lot of people, you know, haven't seen yet is what we can do with all 3 of them in the game. And I think we're going to have some really interesting wrinkles that are going to give opposing team fits. Whenever you have a linebacker the quality of Sean Lee and these 2 young guys, Jalen and Leighton, and they're not going to be able to ID because all 3 of them can do all 3 positions, and they're not going to know who's Will, who's Mike, who's Sam, and they can all run to the ball. They can play pass, they can play coverage, they can play pass defense, they can obviously run to the football. I just think it's going to really be a wrinkle for our defense, you know, that's going to pay dividends for us.
C.J. Beathard, the quarterback for the Niners, here at the 26-yard line, facing a 3rd down play, and fires over the middle. And there you go. One of those young defensive players for the Cowboys. The draft pick out of Texas A&M, Donovan Wilson. Nine picks for this defense last year. That's what you're looking out of these young guys on defense this year. Check it out. Bird's eye view of Donovan Wilson with the pick.
When Donovan Wilson just staring that one down the whole time, he said, "You're really going to throw this to me, aren't you?" And he did. Great play.
Donovan Wilson with his first NFL preseason interception. Donovan Wilson comes up with the interception for the Cowboys, giving Dallas the football back here as we play in the 3rd quarter. 9-7 Cowboys lead. Mike White in at quarterback now for Dallas, 3rd quarterback of the night. Stephen Jones, Cowboys Chief Operating Officer, with us here in the booth. Bill Jones along with Babe Laufenberg. As White with a drop back, and he's hit, and down he goes, and the football comes out. And San Francisco has it at the 11-yard line.
Boy, tough way to start your drive right there. Gets hit from the backside.
Yep, I mean, these young guys, this is why we're playing these games. And there's a young line in there, but, you know, it's how you learn. I mean, you got to have that internal clock, as you know, Babe, as a quarterback, and got to get the ball out of there. Now, that's a, you know, tough look right there, and but he'll learn from that one. And you know, that's why you play these games. That's what excites me about preseason, is seeing the young guys get in here, and you know, they're not going to do everything right, but they're certainly going to learn from this and be better for it.
That's a veteran safety, Anton Exum, that was coming off the blitz off the right side there.
It looks like we may have had a young guy missing.
We got a penalty, though.
Yep.
Cowboys keep the ball here. We'll go back to Donovan Wilson, who we just saw with the interception out of Texas A&M. 6th-round pick. What did you see in him that you liked?
Well, his physicality and his passion and the way he played the game. He's a big-time hitter. Hard to see in training camp because obviously we're not going to be overly physical, when we're bringing guys to the ground. So we've seen him on half a dozen times. You can see just licking his chops, wanting to pass a lick. But, this is why you play these games. There's 5 to 10 guys out here I couldn't wait to see. You want to see on defense them making plays on the ball, around the ball, making big plays, wanting to make their spot on the roster. And, the same holds true for offense. I was watching 81 out there. He'll make some good plays, and then he'll have a drop. But that's what these games are for. He'll learn from this. And eventually what you hope is it only gets better and he develops into what you want around here.
And at 81, John Vay Johnson. You see number 40, Mike Weber, with the run just there. We saw it in the scrimmage last week. The ability to hit it up in the hole and then bounce it to the outside, which he did on the previous play.
Well, he's a very instinctive guy for us, and I think he's got natural running skills. Obviously, played there with Zeke at Ohio State and seeing a lot of things that we like, and this is going to be a big preseason for him. We obviously got a trusty vet in Alfred Morris, but obviously Weber's going to get a great chance to shine in these upcoming games.
Big hit delivered, pass overthrown. There's the flag. 2 flags come out.
Boy, a big hit, and he is still down.
That's Cedric Wilson, second-year man out of Boise State.
Wow.
Missed all of last year with an injury.
Took a giant shot there from the safety. Going to be a penalty here for hitting a defenseless receiver, and probably anything else you want to go.
Personal foul,
Helmet to helmet.
illegal hit on a defenseless player. Number 27, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And Stephen, you were on that competition committee, and this is going to be a point of emphasis. So walk us through a little bit about that.
Well, obviously, we're trying to make this game safer, and this is one that's been in our game for years now. And we certainly don't want people on a defenseless player going high. As it turns out, it looks like it may have come a little below the chin there, but he still was defenseless, and it was up there in that area where you don't want him hitting right there. And we believe, and obviously we got an injury right here, that this is where a lot of the concussions come from. Is the helmet to helmet going high on a defenseless player is just a play we don't need in our game. And I think our players are skilled enough and have shown time and time again over the years that they can make these big plays without having the foul on the play.
Number 27, the safety for San Francisco, Adrian Colbert, who began his college career at Texas for 3 years, finished up at Miami out of Mineral Wells. Good to see Cedric Wilson walk off, it looks like, under his own power. Goes to the far sideline. Good competition among these young wide receivers in camp.
Well, they've had a great camp. Sanjay's doing a great job with them, and we got some more coming here that we hadn't seen yet. I'm interested to see what 83 Guyton does here as we move forward. I know some of these guys are going to be rotating between game to game, between second and third, and it's going to be an interesting competition.
Adrian Colbert ejected from the game for that hit on Cedric Wilson. Now Mike White from the 43, first down for the Cowboys. Ups it to Weber, and no gain on the play. Well, but you look at, see Randall Cobb for the first time in a Cowboys uniform tonight, number 18. Amari Cooper not here tonight, but when you see what the possibilities are with this offense, with Kellen Moore calling the shots with this offense, it's exciting to see what might be ahead for this offense this year.
Well, it really seems like Kellen's gotten in a great rhythm this game right away. He did it early. I think we moved the ball well. Obviously, we want these field goal drives to end with touchdowns rather than field goals. But I do think he's got a great feel for this right away, and very pleased with what we're seeing with his rhythm and his play calling.
And one of the guys I want to talk about here is Blake Jarwin. Really gained confidence, it seemed to me, against that Giant team in the last game of the season. Caught 3 touchdown passes. Hadn't had a touchdown to that point. but 3 touchdowns last year, and he just almost looks like a different guy in camp this year.
It is. I think he really gained confidence, Babe, at the end of the year. I thought he was obviously had a great finish, but he's picked up right where he left off. And I think having Witten out there with him has only improved him as a player. I think he's learning every day from him. His skill set's going to complement everything Jason does for us. And as you saw there in the first half, it's just catch after catch. And, at some point we got to get some tight ends in here because we're not playing Witten. And we only got about 3 guys out there doing the heavy lifting. So, but we did just sign another tight end and got to get him in the right shape. Should be ready to start practice with us starting next week so we don't have to wear Blake out.
Looked like Mike White had some communication issues there, and the Cowboys had to use a timeout right there. You look at this team going forward, and Dak Prescott now going into his 4th year as a quarterback of this team, and the strides that he has made. Jason Witten talked about how unbelievable the improvement that he saw from one year to the next after sitting out last year with Dak Prescott, as Mike White takes the snap from center here. And under pressure, big hit delivered on Weber coming out of the backfield. But the progress that you see in Dak in this offense now.
Well, he's just really, he's one of those guys, one of those leaders, one of those players that can't get enough. And he's not satisfied with being the quarterback of the Cowboys. He's not satisfied with just being good. He wants to be great. He wants to bring, our fans a Super Bowl home. And, he just goes about his work in all the right ways. And obviously he had a great drive to start this game, and he's had a great camp. And, I think he's got just a bright future for us as we move forward. And, this is his team now. And he's the leader, and I think everybody looks to him. In terms of, when to push a button and when to move that needle up even a little more. And, he's just got a great way about doing that. And we're just so fortunate to have him, and looking forward to him having what I think is going to be a great year.
Yeah, now you talk about him not being satisfied. Stephen, what number is going to satisfy him since you're doing the contract?
Well, we're not there yet, obviously.
Now, do you sleep at night? You got Zeke and Cowboy. He wants a new contract. You got to take care of Dak, Amari down the road. Do you sleep at night? Or?
We do.
I wouldn't.
We're fortunate to have these 3 guys, and what we have is a distribution dilemma. We want to pay these guys. We want them to be happy. We've just got to continue to have them think about that, this game takes more, and I know they know this, more than 3 guys to play it. And we've got a lot of great young football players, as you guys are seeing out here, that we want to keep around. We saw Jalen Smith here to start when I stepped in here. And, he's another guy who's going to want a contract at some point. And, we want to try to, divide the pie up so that we can get as many people happy as we can, because hats off to Will McClain, the scouting staff. Our coaching staff's worked hard at this, and we've really drafted well. And, Jerry and I's opinion, that's how you want to build a football team, through the draft, and then you kind of pick and choose as you go from there. But we've just really drafted well and want to keep this unit together. I have all the confidence in the world that we're ultimately going to get these guys contracts they can be happy with, and we can work with moving forward.
You ever had an agent or a player, Stephen, come in and just say, I want a cost of living raise?
No.
Or 3%, like normal, No?
Never had that.
Those deals would get done real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that agent would get fired real fast, too.
It would have been done a long time ago.
San Francisco facing a 3rd down here. We play late in the 3rd quarter. We appreciate Stephen Jones spending some time with us. Been a busy day for Stephen. Deep downfield, and flag comes out. Hat is out too, as a receiver, Deebo Samuel, looked like he went out of bounds and came back in. Don't believe he touched the ball though. Or did
I think we're going to get pass interference
here instead.
And I think that's a good, legitimate call. We'll take a look at a replay here.
Now, Jason Garrett believes in the preseason we may see coaches challenge pass interference more, just to kind of see where the strike zone is as far as that goes. The new pass interference challenge rule in the NFL, as if challenge flag is thrown by Jason Garrett right now.
Yep,
So
there you
There
go.
you go. Yeah, right on cue.
Yeah, he's being more aggressive.
And I think you're exactly right, Bill. And, of course, he's on the other side of the field. Now you have coaches in the booth that can say, hey, challenge. You have somebody up there to tell you. But I think this is just to work through the mechanics of the challenge, because Mike Jackson here,
Dallas
number 33.
is challenging the ruling on the field of defensive pass interference. We'll review the play.
I don't think it's going to get overturned.
Judging by Jason's smile on the far sideline, I think he understands that too.
Carl Sheffers is the referee, and he's saying, hey, Carl, I got to do this. I just got to do it, just so you know.
There you go.
Well, there's been so many flags thrown tonight, Jason Garrett decided he needed to throw one too.
All right, so who else, Stephen? Who are we missing here? Which of the young guys?
Well, I thought Tony Pollard got off to a great start with the ones, and certainly we just saw him running the ball. He's got so many other qualities and so many other assets in his game that we're going to see as we move forward, whether it's catching balls out of the backfield, going in motion, catching them. His play on special teams as a returner is going to be big for us this year. And so anyway, I thought he really did a nice job. I thought Taco had some nice rushes tonight. I know a lot of people have been wanting him to take the next step, being a first-round pick, and make some plays in that area. So, and then unfortunately our linebacker Gifford, who got injured, was, he was making a strong push, and it goes all the way back to the start of camp.
Dallas will be charged with their second charge timeout.
That he's been in the conversation, and certainly, I hope this thing is not something that's going to keep him out for an extended period of time, because he was making a big push to be a part of this football team.
Well, and as you well know, some guys don't take it from the practice field to the game. He's practiced great, and he was having himself a great game tonight. Had the interception.
Beathard fires deep downfield for Samuel, who comes up with it with Mike Jackson defending inside the 10-yard line. Samuel, a second-round draft pick out of South Carolina.
Yeah, Deebo Samuel. And again, the 49ers tried to upgrade their receiving corps. Signed Jordan Matthews, spent a second and third-round pick on receivers, Samuel being one of them. Talk about a confident guy, Stephen. They said, what's your goal this year? He said to be Rookie of the Year.
Well, we loved both these receivers the 49ers picked, and they were on our boards at very similar levels.
Jalen Hurd, the other one out of Baylor.
Jalen Hurd out of Baylor has made a couple plays tonight. So, in my mind, they accomplished what they were after doing, which was upgrade the receiving corps.
And out of bounds at the 5-yard line, Tyree Mayfield on the receiving end. Big week ahead for the Cowboys. They'll wrap up training camp. 3 practices, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Oxnard, and then head to Hawaii, which will play the Rams next Saturday night. Be a nice little trip to Hawaii.
Well, it will be a nice trip, and I bet a lot of our guys, I don't have the count, have never been to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So be great like that, and then of course we know we've got quite a great number of Cowboy fans in Hawaii. And
false start.
Be great
number 64
for those fans.
Second down.
It'd be great for our fans over in Hawaii to get to see the Cowboys up close and personal. Now it'll be a quick trip, and it'll be a quick run at it, but we're looking forward to it. And of course, it'll be a great measuring stick to get to play against the Rams. Obviously, a tough out for us last year, losing that game there in Los Angeles, but it'll be some good work for us.
I looked at a map. You could go to Hawaii and then stop by Cabo on the way back to Dallas.
That'd be a great trip.
Yeah. All right, into the third quarter. Stephen Jones, we appreciate you joining us here on the Cowboys broadcast. We're through 3 quarters, Dallas and San Francisco. A behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium with a VIP, self-guided, or art tour. Stadium tours are available daily. For more info and to purchase tours, visit attstadium.com/tours. 49ers starting the fourth quarter at the Cowboys' 10-yard line. C.J. Beathard still in there at quarterback for the Niners. Second down from the 10. And inside the 5, Justin Phillips, number 44 on the stop for the Cowboys.
And Bill, we talked about those receivers and how San Francisco is trying to upgrade the position. Again, signed Jordan Matthews in the offseason, used their second and third round picks on wide receivers. Dante Pettis a year ago in the second round. And a couple of years ago, they were the worst receiving core I've seen in the league. And it's amazing because this is the team that had Jerry Rice, right? The greatest receiver of all time, and they're trying to find him now.
That was Sean Poindexter on the receiving end, and in the end zone, there he is again, the Baylor Bear, Jalen Hurd, with his second touchdown reception of this game.
Well, at 6'4" and almost 230, that's a hard man to defend there. Good throw by Beathard going up top. Tyvis Powell, who literally was signed this week. He's 6'2" himself, but he just makes no play on this football. But again, just got to camp this past week for the Cowboys.
And Jalen Hurd, a guy who's a big, strong, physical receiver there, who's really just learning the receiver position the last couple of years, playing his final year of college at Baylor.
Fast learner.
Yes. You can see the potential that the 49ers have in that player right there. And as Stephen Jones mentioned, the Cowboys like both those guys coming into the draft this year. Cowboys, of course, did not have a first-round pick. They like the guy that they used that first-round pick on, though, too, Amari Cooper.
Well, he really changed things up for him last year, didn't he? Once he got here, lost the first game, and then went 7-1 after that. It was amazing, too, how quickly he adapted to this Cowboys offense. And you look at Oakland trading him away, and hey, they've got the reasons why they do things, but they had a humble, quiet, really productive receiver in Amari Cooper, who they traded away and then spent more money to get Antonio Brown in free agency.
That's right. And it's been well documented the last week what's been going on with Antonio Brown, who's not in camp with the Raiders right now. That man, Amari Cooper, had 53 catches with the Cowboys last year, all told, including his time in Oakland, had 73 catches for over 1,000
Yeah,
yards.
gets a slant from the slot, then he runs a slant inside here, takes this one to the house. Really good pass pattern runner. A little comeback up top here. Look at him sink his hips. Come out of this route. Dak hits him on the run. Heck of a route runner. There's Mike White. His mom and dad are here, his uncle, his cousin, his wife. He said, "It's my first game I've ever played as a married man."
From the 40-yard line, and that's Jalen Guyton, the intended receiver, number 83 out of North Texas and Allen High School.
Mike White, who went to the Western Kentucky, who was drafted from there, graduated from there, but he started out at the University of South Florida. That's where he met his now wife.
Okay.
He said she was a cheerleader. Typical cheerleader quarterback thing.
He's from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And he's brought down.
Well, I'm looking up top here, Bill, and I know everybody's saying, boy, get rid of the football, but I've got the bird's eye view, and I can't find a receiver open from here, 200 feet in the air. So down there, it's a heck of a lot tougher.
And talk about players signed this week. Valawaga with the sack there for San Francisco. He was just signed here in the last couple of days.
All right, 3rd and 17. This is where Mike White, don't make a mistake, don't force it. Just dump it off and get your punting team on there if you have to.
Pass is caught and had to get up to the 50-yard line for a first down.
Ooh, that was a tight fit in there, wasn't it, Bill?
It was. It looked like it might be going the other way.
As I was saying, don't do anything foolish with the football. And, oh, man, that easily could have been a pick six. But that's life in the NFL. It's a game of inches. The days of having a receiver open by 5 feet And when you leave college.
That was Tim Harris, 35, the rookie out of Virginia, 6th-round draft pick, who almost came up with that one. Devin Smith did instead, but it's 4th down. Casey Redfern on to punt. Richie James is deep for the Niners. Calling for the fair catch at the 11-yard line, and that's where San Francisco will take over on offense with 12:40 left in this game here in Santa Clara. Don't miss your chance to see the Cowboys live at AT&T Stadium this season. You won't want to miss these exciting matchups in the Giants, Eagles, Packers, Rams, and more. Come to Arlington. Get your tickets now at DallasCowboys.com. Let's go down to the sideline and Lindsey Draper.
Thanks so much, Bill. Randall Cobb, first night in the Cowboys jersey. How you feeling?
I feel great. You know, I feel like I look good. I saw myself in the mirror, and it was a good look for me.
Yeah, the first 2 people I saw in the stadium were decked in green and gold, and I was like, they're lost. And then are we going to see that a lot this year?
I don't know. I guess I still got a little support from there, but, I'm happy to be here in the silver and blue, and it was fun to get my feet wet on the field tonight.
Okay, so getting integrated, you've had a summer here. What are your impressions of the offense and Kellen Moore and what you guys can do this season?
I'm really excited. He's got a multiple attack that we're after. We have a lot of guys, a lot of playmakers, a lot of guys who can do different things. A great running game, a young guy in Tony Pollard that can come out and make some plays. And then on the receiving end, we got guys all over the field that can make plays.
And that, right before training camp, the trip to San Diego with Dak Prescott, what was that like, just building that bond?
Yeah, it was great. It was a time for us to build some more chemistry on the field together, but also a time for us to learn a little bit more about each other, to spend some time to hang out. It was great. We had a few guys come down, played a little golf, hung out, went to some dinners, played ball, worked out together, so it was a lot of fun.
Obviously, you were with Aaron Rodgers for 8 seasons, so transitioning to a new quarterback, what were the challenges with that, and how have you and Dak worked through those?
Well, the biggest thing is chemistry and communication, and I think that's something that we're continuing to grow together. We've had some great moments in practice, some learning moments in practice, and just talking through different scenarios and situations that we're going to come across in games. And the biggest thing is just making sure we're on the same page when the moment comes.
And before I let you get back to the sideline, I think it's someone's birthday tonight?
It is. It's my little man's birthday. Caspian, happy birthday. His first birthday. Didn't get a chance to see him today, but we'll celebrate tomorrow.
All right. Thanks so much, Randall. Have a great season with us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Randall Cobb. It's Randall Cobb Jr., by the way, babe. His dad, Randall Cobb Sr., has been at training camp for a couple of weeks. He's from Tennessee, Alcoa, Tennessee. He was a Mr. Football in Tennessee also. C.J. Beathard, as they needed to get to the 21 for a first down, and they got it to Richie James past the 22-yard line. What do you think Randall Cobb's going to bring to this offense?
Well,
I know you were a Cole Beasley fan.
I was, and I really felt like when Cole Beasley left, everybody was kind of like good riddance, but he was a heck of a third down slot receiver. Could not cover him with one guy. So 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 5, he was your man. Randall Cobb's going to give you a little more of a downfield threat. The problem with Cole, the farther he got away from the line of scrimmage, the less effective he was, just because of his height. You couldn't send him down the seam. It's just real hard for a quarterback to try to hit a guy down the middle of the field when you got a 6'4" linebacker ranging down over a linebacker between safeties. That's hard. But again, 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 5, nobody could cover him. And he drew a lot of double coverage now. 2 years ago,
it was that short area quickness in there where he could get open on the option routes and that sort of thing.
Actually, I was watching a game last night on the NFL Network, and Buffalo was playing, and there's Cole Beasley making a catch.
Doing what Cole Beasley does. Now, Randall Cobb will give you some run after catch, too. He actually was a quarterback at Kentucky to start off his college career and was used in a variety of ways in that offense and then in the NFL as well. And he's been taking punts in practice. Stephen Jones talks about Tony Pollard being a punt returner. Tavon Austin obviously has that skill. All of a sudden, the Cowboys have a plethora of punt return possibilities on this team.
I do think it'll be Tavon Austin once the season starts as their punt returner, but as you mentioned, they got some other guys that can do it.
3rd down from the 27. And heaving it downfield to an open man, Richie James, who sneaks behind the Cowboy defender on that play. That was
holding.
Tyvis Powell.
Number 64.
No, it's coming
Offense.
back.
10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
The ball gets thrown on Tyvis Powell again. We mentioned just basically got into camp. Corner from Ohio State, 3rd-year player. So San Francisco is going to bring it back. Now they've had San Francisco, they haven't done a great job of converting on 3rd down, but they've had 3rd and 10, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 26, 3rd and 22, and now 3rd and 15. Those are hard to pick up.
They have done a great job of getting into 3rd and 15 and 20 because of all the penalties. Under pressure, Beathard gets it away to Walter up past the 20-yard line, well short of where they needed to go.
And the Cowboys, this is what you do, 3rd and 15, you just play zone. You make them throw it underneath. You go up and rally up and make the tackle. That's exactly what happened.
That was 56, Joe Jackson, the 5th-round draft pick out of Miami, putting the pressure on Beathard.
And that's Donovan Wilson again at the end of this thing. Out of Woodlawn High School in Shreveport, so we know we got a lot of Cowboy fans down there, so shout out to all the Woodland High School crowds.
Then shout out to all the Texas Aggies looking for 37, Donovan Wilson, to make plays like he did with an interception. Reggie Davis trying to make a play. Takes a big hit after a nifty return. And the Cowboys will set up shop just inside their 40-yard line when we come back.
Well, you know, we've been talking about this being a very young team. We've said it time and time again. This is what you get. You get young families, young kids. This is picture day at Oxnard, California, with trying to get all the kids together and smile. I have a 1.5-year-old. I know it's really impossible to get them to sit still, but so many families come out to camp each year, and it's great to see the kids get together. Bill Jones, I know you're a grandpa. If you can get them to sit still for a second, sitting still alone is a win, am I right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Mike White at quarterback here with the toss left. And brought down after a 2-yard pickup is Darius Jackson. By the way, Babe, Lindsay and I flew out to San Jose on the same flight, and Mark Mazaccia's wife, Taylor, was on the flight with their young son, Cam, who's 3 months old. They made it without too much screaming. But I can identify. We've been on a flight.
How close were you?
We were about 3 rows back.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 rows back, and they still live in the Dallas area. Of course, he was with the Cowboys. Now out here, number 53 for San Francisco. Losing the football is Mike White. And San Francisco comes up with that loose football.
Yep, first turnover of the night for the Cowboys. And as Mike White comes up this pocket, you better tuck that thing in, and he doesn't. Loose with the ball, you know you're in traffic. You're not a passer at that point, you're a runner, and you got to get it in.
Leroy Reynolds forces the fumble, and San Francisco comes up with the recovery. DeMontre Moore, number 92, out of Rowlett High School in Dallas and Texas A&M, I believe is the man who came up with it, but Reynolds forced it, and San Francisco has it at the Dallas 37-yard line.
Well, you hang that football out, and it's going to go out. That's what happened there. Not the best of protection for Mike White. Be interesting to see if they switch it up and he goes next week with the 2s as opposed to going with the 3s.
Big hit delivered there, and here comes a late flag.
He got thrown right into the middle of the pile.
Walter on the carry.
Toss. And Honolulu next
Illegal
week.
block in the back. Number 1, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Sean Poindexter.
They are racking up the penalties. Number 14. They've got 14 penalties for 151 yards, does San Francisco.
And that's
hard to overcome.
Now that's number 15. And I guarantee you, because there's been double penalties throughout this game that against San Francisco, I guarantee you there are over 20 flags thrown against the Niners in this game. By the way, Dallas, 4 penalties called against the Cowboys. There's Brandon Wilds. He gets up past the 45-yard line. Time to recognize tonight's Bank of America Defensive Featured Player of the game. Tonight's player is the top draft pick this year, the second rounder out of Central Florida, Tristan Hill. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys, number 79. Still in the game here, getting his first taste of NFL preseason action.
I mentioned it's hard to win with 15 penalties, but that's exactly what San Francisco's doing right now, Bill. They're up 14-9.
Second and long. There's Wilds, and getting out there, making the first hit is Shakir Soto.
And we mentioned that fumble by Mike White, the Cowboys' first turnover of this football game. And you go back to last year during the regular season when the Cowboys didn't turn the ball over. That happened 7 times. They won 7 times. So it's a pretty simple formula. Don't turn it over and you tend to win a lot of football games.
It's a huge key in this league.
Really amazing, that stat. You know, when you're +1, it's a certain amount, then it goes up exponentially. When you're +2 in the turnover differential, +3, just goes on and on.
With Richie James pecking away at it, trying to get in closer to a first down at the 35-yard line. You know, you look at the Cowboys' defensive line, and right now, you see Tristan Hill out there, number 79, but the guys that are unavailable right now on the defensive line, including DeMarcus Lawrence, who signed a big contract in the offseason, $105 million. Of course, he had shoulder surgery right after that. He's still on the physically unable to perform list as San Francisco sets up Robbie Gould for what would be a 53-yard field goal. Tyrone Crawford has been out of training camp so far. And, of course, Robert Quinn fractured a hand this week and now will be suspended the first 2 games of the season. Robbie Gould with his new contract strikes gold, and it's an 8-point lead for San Francisco with less than 5 minutes left in this game. 17-9. The 49ers take the lead over the Cowboys. See what Mike White and Kellen Moore come up with when we come back. Cowboys trail the Niners 17-9 after the Robbie Gould 53-yard field goal for San Francisco. John Lynch on the sideline talking with his place kicker.
How about Robbie Gould? The guy is 89 of his last 92. 89 and 92. The Bears let him go because he was going to make $3.5 million in 2016, and you saw what happened to their kicking situation last year. It was awful. It cost him football games.
Wisnowski's kickoff taken at the goal line by Reggie Davis. Gets out to the 20, just past the 20-yard line at the 21.
And you see Robbie Gould with Lynch. And it's much like LP Ladouceur. I saw him on the practice field, and he's a 15-year. This will be his 15th year. And you want to say, gosh, we could go cheaper at that long snapper position. But the minute you do, your rookie goes out there, sails one over the punter's head. I have not seen LP not only have a bad snap, I don't think he's even had one just remotely off center. He's been unbelievably accurate, and again, it can cost you games.
Mike White fires incomplete. You know what he's up to, Ladouceur, in his career over, there's another flag. In his career, LP now has over 2,000 clean snaps.
Wow. And again, there he is, LP Ladouceur, number 91. I don't think he's had one that's even been, hasn't made the holder or punter.
Well, they don't keep a record of that, but they do have to keep a record of the clean snaps, and it's 2009 tries. Punts, point after touchdowns, field goals.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Illegal shift, number 83, offense, pass interference, defense. Those penalties offset. Replay, first down.
By the way, LP Ladouceur went to school across the bay at Cal.
Of course, from Montreal. Who's the oldest Cowboy? It's not Jason Witten. It is LP. 38 years old. We try again from the 21, first and 10. Coming back to get that football. Very nicely done by Jalen Guyton, Mean Green of North Texas. All right, yards by half. 198 in the first half for the Cowboys to 24.
I don't like that.
Like the 24. At least it's an even distribution. 12 rushing, 12 passing. That's not the balance you're looking for, though.
All right, Mike White's got to get something going here. Got a first down there, and sometimes just making those first downs are difficult, and it's been for this unit since Mike White has been out there. Got another flag on the field here.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 46, offense, 15-yard penalty. Second down.
That's Jordan Chun after the running back, or after, the run.
He spin the football. Mike White, 4 out of 6 for 19 yards. Let's take a look at what happened. Jawing going on.
Threw the ball at him. I don't think he hurt him. I don't think.
Would you say that was throwing the ball at him, or it was just sort of a toss-up in the air at him?
Carl Scheffer's talking it over with his crew here now. Our referee.
That is his first foul with regard to disqualification.
That's pretty severe. 15 yards. And one more like that, and he's out of here. The 19-yard line now. Gary Brown, the running backs coach. We had an explanation for him there.
Sure.
Big hit delivered.
Oh, waiting for the flag to come in again.
Too.
It did not.
Jalen Guyton took the big hit after not being able to handle the pass.
Looked like a ball he should have caught. Let's have another look at it. It's Guyton up top of your screen, running the slant. Yeah, you want to turn your hands the other way. You want to have him coming back at the football, making that triangle with your hands. Not letting that come up there. A little bit of an off throw there by Mike White, though. In fairness, he's got to put that ball down on his numbers, not out in front.
There's Antone Exum with the hit. Now Guyton makes the catch that time, short of the first down. Guyton was a teammate of Kyler Murray's at Allen High School, 3 straight state championships. He's primary receiver. Went to Notre Dame
for a year.
Yes, and then went to North Texas via Trinity Valley Community College in Athens. Had 2 fine years for Seth Luttrell at North Texas. What a job Seth Luttrell is doing at North Texas.
Well, big down,
9-1 year.
Big down here for Mike White. 3rd and 5, got to convert, got to keep the football, got to keep the drive alive.
And the completion to his tight end. What a story Cody McElroy is, number 84.
Yes, he is. You want to tell it, or should I?
You can go for it if you'd like.
Okay, did not play. Well, we're going to go no huddle here, so we'll get to it in a moment.
Time.
We got a little break. But you'll be very interested in the story, trust me.
Mitch Hyatt with his hands full at left tackle.
So Cody McElroy did not play high school football because he didn't have a football team. They had 18 kids at his high school. Played basketball and baseball. Went to JUCO,
Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma.
Chattanooga, Oklahoma.
Will you let me finish?
I will.
Okay, played JUCO baseball, then played baseball at the University of Texas, then played at Cameron University, which is a D2 school in Oklahoma. Drafted by the Braves, played a little minor league baseball, hit 156. Then went to Oklahoma State, walked on as a basketball player, then played football at Southeastern Oklahoma.
Finally got around to football at Southeastern Oklahoma.
Amazing.
5 years of playing baseball and then dabbled in basketball.
There he is
and
again.
Looks like he's got pretty good talent as a tight end.
You got to be a pretty good athlete now, even just to walk on at Oklahoma State as a basketball player. They don't just say, yeah, come on out. Played baseball, again, drafted by the Braves. Now he is trying to play football.
Yeah.
I mean, he does Rico Gathers one better.
That's right. Enrico's not here anymore.
No,
partly because Cody McElroy is here.
And I'll say this too, there's been a lot of discussion about Rico, I think, certainly ever since he got here. and he made a good story because he hadn't played football since the 8th grade, but he was a good draft pick in the sense that he's the exact kind of guy late in the draft you want to take a chance on.
6th round.
6th round. You saw Antonio Gates never played college football, come out, became what he became. So it was a good pick. It just didn't pan out. And they gave him every opportunity.
All right, 4th down here from the 48-yard line. Mike Weber trying to get to the 49.
It's going to be close, but I think he's short. But it's going to be close. I think it's going to garner a measurement. Carl Scheffer's a referee saying, bring in the chains. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it's going to be short. But we'll see. They're going to stretch those chains, and I think they're going to be about a football short of it, Bill.
2:02 left.
And there it is. Now, 2:02 left. Cowboys have scored 9 points. Before you totally panic, last year in the preseason, the Cowboys scored 13 or less in 3 of their 4 preseason games. So,
yeah, but they scored 21 in this game against San Francisco last year.
Saying they're working backward. And they got a little work to do, that's for sure. But again, when you never look at it, when your first team plays 8 plays or whatever it was, it's not the same football team.
It was 9 plays, 65 yards, 9 plays, a field goal. And deep downfield, that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. And
there's a nice play by Tyvis Powell.
Yeah, Tyvis Powell out of Ohio State signed this week. One of a number of players on both sides just signed in recent days. Back to Santa Clara in a moment. The Reliant Bring the Energy Defensive Player of the Game.
Cowboys just playing cover 1 man here, meaning Donovan Wilson's just a free runner in the inside. Reads C.J. Beathard perfectly, steps in front of it. Gets the interception. Heck of a play there by Donovan Wilson.
Reliant and NRG Company. Bring in the energy. Donovan Wilson, the Texas Aggie from Shreveport, Louisiana. Like Stephen Jones was up here when he had that interception. That was one of the things that he really wanted to see, because the playmaking ability by that safety out of A&M. He knows that he's a hard hitter, something you don't really see in training camp because there's not a whole lot of hitting going on there. They don't take players to the ground, of course, during camp. But had an opportunity to see that tonight out of Donovan Wilson, making a play right there, 6th round pick.
Cowboys take another timeout here. Jason Garrett trying to stop the clock and get the ball back. That is their last timeout, by the way. Brings up a 3rd and 9. San Francisco can have a couple options. They can run it, meaning, and that would run 40 seconds or 45 seconds off the play clock. You throw it, you take the chance of an incompletion, but I think right now Kyle Shanahan wants to see his guy throw the football.
I'll let you know if you missed any part of this game or want to rewatch the game broadcast. Check us out on the Cowboys Now app on any of your connected TV devices. Lots of great stuff on DallasCowboys.com. One of those, Welcome to Switzerland, the Deep Blue documentary, which you saw earlier tonight and here on the Cowboys Network. And the 80-minute documentary put together by Derek Eagleton's team, DallasCowboys.com, is really neat, going back to that 1994, the spring of 1994, the breakup of Jimmy and Jerry and the hiring of Barry Switzer. One of the most monumental weeks in Dallas-Fort Worth sports history.
I'll never forget it. Was there at the press conference and Jimmy and Jerry parted ways. And the next day, Barry came in. Yeah. I got another press conference to
right off his couch in Norman, Oklahoma. There's some great behind-the-scenes footage from that time. That's 25 years ago now.
Amazing. 49ers just going to let the clock run out. take a delay of game penalty. Kellen Moore, you see on the left there with the headset, talking to Mike White. They're going to get one more shot at it. Mike White looking for a little redemption right now. He's had a tough go of it. Again, pass protection not great. That tends to happen when you're out there with the third string guys.
Fair catch called for by Reggie Davis, and so now he's going to be backed up inside his own 10.
Catch that ball.
Yeah. WinStar World Casino and Resort, proud to be the official casino of the Dallas Cowboys, with the play of the game on offense from the tight end Blake Jarwin. The 33-yard reception of the Cooper Rush pass as Jarwin had 4 catches for 51 yards, playing the entire first half and on into the third quarter of tonight's game.
All right, so the Cowboys need a touchdown. They got 93 yards to go, and they got no timeouts.
See what you can do.
Now, they do go through different scenarios during practice. We got 1 timeout. We need a field goal. We got 2 timeouts. There's 1:07 left. They have the clock actually on the field so the players can see it, and they run through all this. But I don't know that I've ever seen, Bill, no timeouts at your own 7 with a minute to go.
The other part of it, how many reps in training camp does the third-team quarterback get doing that? There's a lot reserved for the first-team quarterback, Dak Prescott, and Cooper Rush has been the number 2 guy throughout camp. This is Mike White's opportunity. Open receivers, Devin Smith again, 2 in a row. It cut the field in half all of a sudden with 2 throws.
And now we got a penalty. I think it's going to be a late hit at the end of this thing, but just 2 corner routes, exact same pattern, different formation. But 2 corner routes, 2 completions.
Unnecessary roughness, number 33 defense for contacting an opponent out of bounds. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, that'll help.
No kidding. All of a sudden, Mike White has engineered the 2 passes. That was Tavarius Moore with 3rd-round pick last year.
San Francisco now up to 16 penalties on the night. 16.
16, and there have been multiple times where there have been 2 penalties. An open receiver down at the goal line goes incomplete. Devin Smith again.
Boy, he had a touchdown, Mike White did. Kind of shuffled and just didn't get it all on that throw there. Look at the top of your screen here. Devin Smith just runs by him. Mike White gets this ball down the field. He's got a touchdown. Little nod outside and go. And again, just an underthrown ball. As you see, if he gets it outside, he's probably got himself a touchdown.
So 2nd and 10 from the 39 with 39 seconds left. Out to the outside to McElroy.
Mike White said, you know, I've seen Jason Witten run that Y option a bunch, and that didn't look the same. Third down. Doesn't really matter, though, because Cowboys are obviously going to go for it on 4th if that becomes the case.
But on 3rd down, they are 4 for 14 in this game. Lofting it. Looking for Johnson.
Wow. Flag comes down. That one really didn't have a shot for a completion, but it's going to be pass interference. Cowboys are going to get the ball down inside the 5-yard line.
Pass interference, number 48, defense, automatic, first down.
Dante Johnson.
You saying me?
Kyle Shanahan has his arms up, and
now they can review this one in the booth if they so desire.
No challenge inside 2 minutes.
Yep.
So at the 4-yard line. Goes incomplete. With 25 left.
He threw it underneath, and boy, he had Devin Smith wide open in the back of the end zone here. Devin Smith running left to right across the formation. Watch him right here at the back end. It's going to open up right here. Here he comes, a stop back end,
wow,
just wide open. Yep. Mike White doesn't see it, throws it underneath, but passed up a touchdown.
And intended for Reggie Davis with 20 seconds left. Third down.
Now, if the Cowboys score, do they go for 2 and try to tie it up? I think they will.
Of course they will.
I was watching the Tampa Bay-Pittsburgh game last night. Tampa Bay scores, cuts the lead to 2. I believe it was 30-28. And I was like, okay, what's Bruce Arians going to do here? He's done a lot of football. They went for 2, but they didn't make it.
Third down from the 4. Rolling out is Mike White. Throws out of bounds.
Yeah, just threw that one away. Smart play. Live to play another down here, and it will be 4th down. This is the point where you just tight window, whatever window, you just got to get the ball thrown into the end zone somehow, some way. If anything completed short of the end zone, well, it won't matter anyway because it's goal to go, but somehow you got to figure out a way to fit this ball in the end zone. If it gets picked off, it gets picked off. But you got to deliver it.
Take your chance now. Got to go for it. 4th down from the 4. Had a wide open man on the right side and throws short of Devin Street in the back of the end zone. And the ball goes over with 7 seconds left. Darius Jackson coming out of the backfield, but the pressure was on, flushing White out to the left side.
Yeah, just nobody really open on this play, but again, you got to take a shot at it. He's trying to get his shoulders turned, running left, and get the ball back inside, and just couldn't make an accurate throw.
And so San Francisco will take a knee and run out the final seconds of this one as the Cowboys fall for the 2nd straight year in the preseason opener here in Santa Clara. 17-9, the final score.
I love it in the preseason. Coaches are all smiles, aren't they? Win or lose, you don't know. It's just like, okay, we're out of here.
There's Kyle Shanahan in his 3rd year as the head coach of the 49ers. Dak Prescott, seems like a long time ago now. Dak Prescott started this game. The first drive of this game, 65 yards and 9 plays.
Just shaking hands out there with Jimmy Garoppolo, San Francisco's QB, who again they'll have back.
There's Miles Austin right there.
Yeah, Miles Austin. He's the what is he here? He's the assistant quality control guy in offense.
Offensive quality control coach. Wes Welker, the receivers coach. He's helping out with the receivers. First year as a coach here with San Francisco. So the Cowboys fall to the Niners here in Santa Clara. We'll be back to wrap things up in just a moment. We'll return to Levi's Stadium.